Well, man. Oh, I don't know. I can't. I don't know why, but my voice is. I don't know if it's worse than it was yesterday. That terrible video I did, or what. But it's here. I'm here, and anyway, I'm just gonna work through it, I guess, my friends. And who knows? Maybe I just don't need a voice anymore. But welcome, everyone. What I do need is my good friends and my good Clobberin buddies, and I'm so glad to see you tonight here on Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk on Clobberin Times issue number, 259 on YouTube, 959 overall. And whoa. So, here we go for another week. We got through a holiday. It's always melancholy when you get through a holiday, I suppose. You know, you look forward to it so long. While it's happening, you can't believe it's going by so fast, I guess. Like a whole week of holidaying, and then it's just gone. But this is my favorite time of year because you just got a couple of weeks for the next big one. And the next two big ones in a row. And then the January comes on and says, guess what? Get ready for some more suckage. But December, who knows? We're going to make the most of it. We're going to have fun with it. I don't know what we're going to do with it, but we're going to have fun with it. And before we get started, folks, let me just say some hellos to my wonderful clobbers who are here with me already this evening. I just came over from watching my great pal, the great retro blaster Michael French, who just did an impromptu stream just because he was bored. He wanted to go on and talk, and I just love it that he was doing that. And I think he's going to still be running for a while over there. And it was good to see him pop on because he doesn't do that often. He does regular streams on Saturdays with his gang and stuff. And of course, he came on with me a couple of weeks ago, and I was very happy because I love Michael, and it's a great channel. He's a great friend, and so I was pleased to see him just pop on and just do what I like to do: sit and talk to wonderful friends, geek out. So, D-Bud, brother, what is up, my clobbering brethren? Always good to see you, man of iron. Snorter pooper skewer. The great Eric K. What's up, Bronze Surfer? Good to see you, buddy. Let's see here. J-Man, brother. All right. How you be? Let's see. You said you got your Spider-Man tickets. They sold out like a minute. No, yeah, wow. I figured I'd just walk up and grab and buy them on that day. Maybe I'll have to buy them in advance. I don't know. We'll see. Good to see you. This Phantom Outsider, dude. What is up with your cool vibes? Who else? We got Hungry Boy, my friend. Great to see you. Great to see you. Let's see here. Who is here? Steve mentioned, what's up, brother? Hail to you at the grocery store. Troy Pacelli, hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Mr. Gas Mask Animations. How are you doing, young man? I hope you are doing well. I hope you had a great holiday. And it is always a pleasure to see you, my young friend. See here. That is... Okay, that's my chat. I had to catch my chat up. Now, there we go. Show notes. I got... other than, of course, as we all know, Saturday Night Star Trek coming up. But other than that, Wednesday, I'll be talking. Chris Persia, what's up, man? The great Chris Persia. Good to see you. Absolutely, everyone. As always, yes, we should do our tribute. Yeah, let's see. Wednesday night, I don't know what I'm doing yet. It could be a topic, could be no topic, but we'll see. And I'm not very organized today, as you can see, just running around a little bit. And then Thursday, it looks like there will be a Global Geek Gang, middle of the day, of course. And, of course, Clobby's Clubhouse. Been having so much fun doing Clobby's Clubhouse with my wonderful first officer and great chief engineer, of course, Raquel and Mark. And what a great time we have doing that show. Just the three of us. And it's just a dynamic, I think, that works. And as long as they want to keep doing it, we will keep doing that. That is a lot of fun on Thursday nights, just to hang out and have a good old time geeking out about stuff. So I will have hopefully I will be able, if all goes well, be able to get the next 2 Spinner Rack Time Machine videos out on time, Wednesday and Thursday, starting December 1971, week 1. So, but tonight's show, I'm going to do a little bit of it like I do, like to do once a month, sort of a recap of the Spinner Rack Time Machine. We'll do a lot of other stuff too. It's kind of an open comics thing, but I like to do I like to start it with a little bit of a recap of my Spinner Rack Time Machine for November 1971. Because, you didn't get really much of a chance to talk about, those videos. I know they seem long, but there's not enough time to do a lot. And let's see here. So there we go. Comments. So I kind of like to, I don't know, maybe just kind of show what we have, and then just kind of show what I picked out from my folder. If any of you see anything you would have picked out or you wouldn't have picked out, let me know. And we just can kind of just go over a little bit of some of that stuff. And then, of course, I got some other things, comics-wise, we will be talking about, because this is a comic show. This is Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk. And that's what we do here on Monday nights. So, the Spinner Rack Time Machine, week 1, what a month November of 1971 was. I mean, really, it's just crazy. Excuse me. Yeah. Because we start out right at the bat with some Marvel stuff. Daredevil number 84. Now, I did a show last month, as you all know, as you know, about the pre-Miller Daredevil. This is that great era. Gil Kane cover right here. Interior, the Gene Colan run. Good God. Yeah, look, I have my issues with Jerry Conway, some things he said and done. And as a writer, Jerry Conway, along with Decisions from On High, is the guy that killed Gwen Stacy. And what's uneasy about, well, hello there, Sherry, the lovely Sherry is here. Great to see you, my dear. All righty. Always a pleasure to have you here. Hey, Just Joe Jobber, buddy, what's up? What's up? But Jerry Conway did kill Gwen Stacy. Well, Marvel Comics killed Gwen Stacy. Stan Lee and Jerry Conway and others, the editorial decision. I've always been kind of two minds of that. That's a classic. Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with Daredevil, by the way. But it made for one of the most classic stories of all time, and it did give some weight and some depth. Before, later in comics when they just destroyed the possibility of anyone ever staying dead, because even she didn't, if you all remember. And Daredevil, I stopped buying Daredevil at the time. This issue before this one, the issue before this one, stupid move, it resolved the Mr. Klein mystery. Oh, wow. Netter's Network, hello there. Lovely to see you. Great to see you, my dear. But anyway, Conway got around back then. So when I see his name, it's funny, when I see Jerry Conway's name, he says a lot of idiotic things now, and he's an old fool now. But when I see his name, I don't think of his Daredevil run. I mean, he co-created a character I love, Firestorm. But he's co-created a lot of characters, but I don't know. I never thought he was that good of a writer. And when I see his name on anything, because his name's all over the place in some of these comics I'm talking about from 71, here, week 1 of November 71. I don't know. I see his name and it aggravates me, but it always makes me think about Gwen Stacy. I guess so, Phantom Outsider, if you want to put it that way. But are you sure they didn't bring her back and have that was a clone? Okay, well then you read way too much modern crap, and I'm now ashamed of you for it. And when I mean modern, I'm talking about never mind. Wasn't she with Norman Osborn or something? That was a clone. I hate the Clone Saga, by the way. So anyway, there he is again. Now, this run on Thor, not too far removed from after Kirby left. John Buscema, though. Too bad Vince Coletta inked it. Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. Something as early as 145 through 150, Phantom Outsider. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what they did to her way, way later in the 90s or early 2000s. Which, by the way, I might add, I had to find out about through a third party because who was reading that crap back then? It may have been in the 90s. Now, I'm fully aware that 144 and 150 are not modern. And I'm also not talking about that Jackal stuff either. Let's see here. I decided to go full-on Western reprint with this one, Joe Manila. You know, this has a lot of cool stuff in it. If you like old Western comics, and I'm sorry that back then I didn't appreciate them as much as I do now, because again, remember when these selections. There you go. Give me a ballpark on the year there, Phantom, if you would, dude. Hungry boy. Kalel's Clobby's kryptonite. Yes. Oh, I got you. So they retroed it, Phantom. Thank you. Well, you can always count on Phantom Outsider. How much am I paying you, Phantom Outsider, by the way? I think I'm going to double, right in front of everyone. You're all my witness. I'm going to double Phantom Outsider's pay right now. Anyway, these old Western reprints, Sid Shores, Joe Manili, Doug Wildey, creator of Johnny Quest. But I'll tell you what, if you ever, Mike Sikowski, mostly well known for his JLA stuff. But what interested me about this is the man, Joe Manili. If you've ever read the story of Joe Manili, what a tragedy. Great artist, though. More Western comics that I probably would have turned my nose up back then, but not now. Well, Eric, yeah, Stan Lee took credit for all of it back then. There were a lot of people doing a lot of things for these Western characters, so there's no way to know who did what. But yeah, Stan's name's all over it. I can tell you that. Remember, they say history is written by the winners, or so are the credit boxes. And Stan Lee created the credit box. The only real good part of that story was in order to test the DNA of the twins who attacked him. Spidey needed the DNA sample from Gwen. Oh, man, they'll dredge up anything, won't they? And if it's 2015, I wasn't touching a Marvel comic, I'll tell you that, dude. But I know plenty of people are. Plenty of people still touch the modern stuff, See, the kids were told by Norman Peter attacked Gwen and abandoned them. Yeah. Stan the Man Lee must have been involved. Yeah, Stan was there. Stan was the big editor of all that stuff. And yes, Stan, wrote a lot. Fans were shocked because, according to Norman, Peter was their father, so why would he need Quincy and A? I don't know, but whoever wrote any of that needs the shit kicked out of him. That's what I will tell you. Phantom, whoever dredged up that perverted crap needs their ass kicked. I don't know if I don't think it was Dan Slott. I know Nick Spencer probably wasn't there at that point. Oh God, who was it? I can't remember who was writing the book right there, to be honest with you. But Marvel just puke. Oh my goodness. More Reaper. So this one, as I talked about in the original video, it's weird because Wonder Woman was a comic that stayed in a state of flux. They never knew what to do with Wonder Woman. This was she was their biggest female superhero for DC, and her comic did not sell pretty well. Yeah, D-Bud. Oh, yeah. I'm glad I get that second hand when I hear about all these crappy, stupid ass stories that Marvel and quote unquote stories Marvel and DC's done. Like some of the ones Fandom is telling us about us right now. Luckily, I only have to hear the bad news about them. Let's see here. Yeah, I love Dick Giordano. What was puzzling about this, though, was this is only issue number 198, and yet it was reprinting stories in a double-edged format from 183 and 184. Probably a lot of deadline issues. Mark D, want to see what's up, brother? Good to see you, bro. Anytime you feel like it, you're always welcome to hang, man. But see, Hungry Boy, that's the thing I'm wondering. At this point, it was probably just they were just trying to get any kind of. It was cheaper to put a reprint out than pay anyone to do a Wonder Woman comic that did not sell that much, right? I'm guessing. Again, you know more than I would. Yeah, Micronight's master indeed. So, I don't know. But Diva says, since Phantom Outsider has to suffer through reading the newer stuff, I say you pay him triple what you were paying me. That's only fair. Phantom, are you? I mean, I know he knows some of this stuff, but I don't know. Are you actually reading any new crap now? You can tell us. We won't make fun of you. Phantom, I promise. Nobody will make fun of you if you buy new stuff because Mark D buys new stuff, and we don't make fun of him much. And J-Man buys new stuff, and I don't make fun of him much. I bet Troy Pacelli buys new stuff and doesn't tell anyone. Troy, do you buy new stuff? You can be honest now, man. Anyway, so yeah, very curious that you have a reprint from comics that weren't but a couple of years before this. But again, I don't know. I'm thinking just because of it was cheaper. Oh, he stopped with One More Day came out. Yeah, well, that makes sense. Not here yet. I figured you didn't, dude. I just wasn't making sure. So yeah. So again, I just think at this time, DC. I don't know. Marvel was kind of handing them their ass for a number of years, and sometimes it was cheaper to do reprints on this book. Yeah, I got you. Troy says, I'm not buying much, mostly trades, back issues, and the current Vampirella lines. I got you. I can understand that. Troy buys new stuff, old stuff. I'm his enabler. Netter? Well, look, Netter's network, I understand that. I mean, I can't, let's see here. I can't say, I have not bought any regular new title. The last one I was buying regularly as a new one was the IDW Star Trek series that I just kind of dropped it a year or two ago. I was buying the Orville comic, but it became very tough to go grab it at our local comic shop because they never ordered enough copies. I was buying some of those True Believers here and there. I was buying some of those replica comics here and there that are kind of cool. But then I just kind of lost interest in even going to the store to get some of that crap. And so I stopped. I bought for a while. It was all I would buy, though. It would be the replicas. It would be the True Believer reprints, the DC Dollar reprints. And I bought the Star Trek comic, like I said, for a while. And then what did I do? I bought the what? I just buy trades. I bought the Orville comic for a while. Like I said, like I was telling you, I couldn't get that for very long. So I try to buy cheap when I can buy cheap trades, like at Ollie's when they have the dirt cheap trades on sale, something really cool, or cheap hardcovers. That I'll get. Old stuff, basically. When it comes to new stuff, I haven't. Oh well, of course, up until 2018, I was buying Astro City up until the last issue of that by Kurt Busiek's Astro City, which I love, and then he stopped it. The one he was doing for DC Vertigo, he stopped it at number 52. What is it with the number 52 in DC Comics? What in the hell? Anyway, he claims he says he's bringing it back next year. Oh, yeah. I got to go check on the sale they're having at Comicology today. I mean, I've got some stuff saved already. I know it's blasphemy to get digital, but they got some good stuff over there. So I got to pull up the tab on it so I don't forget to go look at that stuff later. The sales. There we go. Well, anyway, let's see here. Next up, this one is one of my favorite covers of all time. Naturally, it's just a bunch of reprints because, again, the trade paperbacks and hardcovers and omnibuses and epic collections and masterworks and all that stuff of today in the past 20, 30 years, that's where you got it back then. You got it in all these crazy, weird places, these reprint comics that both DC and Marvel were flooding the racks with at the time. But, I mean, that's a Neil Adams, great Neil Adams cover. What's funny about it is it's sometimes you can see it misclassified as DC 100-page super spectacular or something like that, or DC it has a weird numbering, but it is Batman number 238. Oh yeah, I totally agree with owning physical media. The problem is, Netter, the reason why I like Comicology is because even though, first of all, I don't have enough room for much of anything anyway, but even if I do, I love blowing up the art on the big screen for one thing. Comicology is great for reading comics on a nice reader thing that they have. The system set up for that. I have a buddy of mine that needs Comicology because he can barely see. He has terrible eyesight, and yes, he's a hardcore collector. He buys the physical. I want physical copies also. But I like the fact that you can get that most comics are readily available digitally, so you can read the comic. Because the important thing about this, look, reality is these comic books, first of all, because of jackass key collectors, a lot of them are very expensive. So the trade paperbacks are at least great to have. But just that the story can be read in something, because the bottom line is the story and the art. The paper that it's printed on is the vessel that was available at the time to present the story and the art. When there were comic strips in newspapers, and then someone got the idea to create the first comic book by putting a bunch of comic strips, compiling them into a newspaper. But then Malcolm Wheeler Nicholson, who started National Allied Publications, which became DC Comics, decided to, put the first comic book with new material that it wasn't from a newspaper strip back in 1934 or whatever it was. He did it at 34, 35, whatever it was. That was the best vessel for the story and the art. And I love it. And I love I love the comic book business. Well, I used to love it when I was in it. I love comic shops and I love the feel of old comics and all those wonderful things. But they're only going to be around for so long, and we're going to have to preserve this art, these stories, these characters, and all that stuff. And this art sometimes looks really beautiful when you blow it up on like when I cast it from my phone to the big screen, or when I look at it on my computer or whatever. And still, the art and the story, they are what matters the most to me. That doesn't mean I don't want to have the originals. If you could afford to collect, that's great. But some of these things are going up to crazy prices, even the trades. So, on the digital, you can buy a regular issue of an old comic for $2 on there. Which is, if you buy a really nice copy of it, and if you do buy a nice collector copy of it, you sure don't want to open it up and use it a lot by taking it out and reading it. These things are fragile, especially the old newsprint comics. So I do like the idea of the digital. I mean, the digital preserves what is most important about these things, and it is the story and the art. I love the collector's end of it. Like I said, I have a lot of friends who are hardcore collectors. And again, like I said, one of them, who is one of those, will buy hardcore collector comic, will collect them and still get a digital of it so he can read it and see it with his eyesight, because his eyes are not what they were. And you don't have to touch your originals with the digital and stuff. So I am totally down with the physical there. Netters Network, absolutely. I'm so for that. And I love the collectors and I love collecting. Now, I can't afford to collect much anyway these days. But I will get any great deal I can find on a trade paperback anywhere at any time. But storing them isn't easy. Finding places for them if you don't have a lot of room. So, yeah. But it's the art form of comics that has always been more important to me. And one of my rules of thumb when I was selling them is I never let anybody buy, if some hot new issue was coming in, if I can't afford it, digital, at least I can read it that way as I look at it. Yeah, absolutely, J-Man. So the art form is more important to me than the collector side of it. Even though I obviously love and respect the collector side of it, I love a great trade paperback or a hardcover or an omnibus, Masterworks or an Archives. I love them. The Comic Relief Crusader. Hello there, my friend. I used to have the originals for a lot of Marvel Silver Age books, but I just want to be able to read them now, so I have Masterworks. And yeah, I love the compilations. I love the nice, really nice, slickly reprinted hardcovers and stuff. I love that stuff. And like I said, I love the digital too. But my point being is, I love the collector's end of it, but for me personally, it's the art form that matters. And however that can be transmitted to somebody, I'm game. Yes, thank you, Hungry Boy. He says the conceptual essence of the medium is the important part. That's the most important part to me. The characters, story, and art. And I used to tell people a lot of time when they would come in and just, because back in the 70s and the 80s, there was all kinds of, when comic books started to become more valuable, when the Golden Age stuff and even the Silver Age stuff to an extent started to become quote unquote valuable, you'd see it in the news, like Dan Rather or Walter Cronkite would report like comic books are big. They would start off there, either whether it was in a newspaper or a magazine or on the telly. The report would often start up, pow, whap, zam, comic books are big money. somewhere around, I don't know, what would you say, D-Bud or Phantom or Hungry Boy? Mid 70s to late 70s or the 80s, you started hearing about it started getting out into the ether somehow, into the pop culture, that comic books were starting to become valuable. And how many of you who were, was a comic book fan would, some normie in your family or would you work with or what have you would say something like, "Hey, how much are your comics worth? I hear you got a lot. You like comic books. I hear they're worth a lot of money now. You got it. What are your valuable ones?" Who got that? Everyone's going to raise their hand because you probably all got it if you were buying comics back then. What are your most valuable comics? Love this Gil Kane cover. Still in week 1 of November 17. Yeah, I figured you. Yeah, absolutely. Who didn't get that? Yeah. Everybody. The 90s Phantom, I was getting into the 70s and 80s, dude. But you're right, the 90s it really got pretty annoying. I remember about comic books when DC started the Shazam comic in the 1971. Yeah, I mean, it just. Death of Superman certainly did not help matters. You're right, Mark. But I used to get it all the time. And when I got into the business running the shop I started running well before I owned one, Eric, in the early 80s, I would have uncles or any older anyone from the earlier generation when I would talk about when they would see comic books are 25 cents now, comic books are 50 cents now or whatever. I remember when comic books were a nickel. I remember when comic books were a damn nickel. Remember that? Now what do you mean they're 25 cents? They used to do that to me so much it drove me crazy. So much so, I had to debunk it. I got tired of them saying, "I remember when comic books were a nickel." Okay. First of all, there was Fawcett had nickel comics, and they had a Bullet Man comic that was a nickel. There were a couple comics here and there, but for the most part, the majority of all comics from the beginning to around 1961, 62, 61-ish, they were 10 cents. They were a dime. Anyone ever read that Don Thompson book, All in Color for a Dime? I have that book. I still have my copy of that somewhere, I think. I bet one of you guys has All in Color for a Dime. Yes. Or 50 cents for a comic book. You better be able to eat it. So there was a comic called Nickel Comics by Fawcett. I believe there was a Bullet Man comic that actually cost a nickel, but for the most part. Now, I did theorize this because I was trying to be fair. As you all know, many comic books had to the returnable comics from the drugstores and such. They used to have to rip off part of the cover and send them back to the publisher to get refunds on it. And they would just give out the copies. That's why, did you ever go to like the barber shop as a kid? I know this is really dating us, but in the 70s, and they would have these comics with their half covers or no covers. And sometimes people would take those and just sell them for a dime. Sell them for a nickel. Look, I just looked at. Thank you, Phantom. I just looked down and you're writing that as I'm saying it. That's right. That was what I figured that they were doing that, but they weren't originally priced at a nickel. And they went up to 12 pretty quickly, around 62 or 3 or whatever. Well, that's where the nickel came from, but there really were a couple of Fawcett comics that were nickel cover price. And I think even some of the other cheaper publishers, but no, yeah, it's pretty much 10 cents. But anyway, I can look at a Gil Kane cover, a Gil Kane Spidey cover all day. And we got the Kree Skrull War, Neil Adams. What a time. What a great time for the Avengers. Yeah, the different Gary Friedrich. Still in week one here. So these were my selections for week one. And now I want to, as always, I like to pay tribute to the stuff that got away, to the stuff that didn't make my cut. Just a few of them. We had Archie comics. I did it on the video, but I just want to say I want to single out a couple of them because, man, Attack. That's a war comic I probably would have got, or I don't know, maybe if I went back now. I just love the fact that all these Charlton and Archie and Golkey comics, all these TV tie-ins. Look at this one, the Bugaloos, folks. Anyone remember the Bugaloos? Anyone remember Sid and Marty Krofft? Bop. Oh, geez. Look at all these things. All right, let's see here. Fighting Army, Fighting Marines, Geronimo Jones, Ghostly Haunts, Ghostly Tales, Haunted, and then the sensitive love comics. I Love You, Love and Romance, Love Diary. Now, D-Bud, you can tell me the truth, dude. Did you buy the Partridge Family comic? I bet Phantom Outsider did. Come clean right now, Phantom Outsider. You bought the Partridge Family, didn't you? Well, maybe it didn't. Yeah, I didn't watch the Bugaloos either, but I do remember them. You didn't buy the Partridge Family comic? Steve Mitchum bought it. Steve Mitchum definitely bought the Partridge Family comic because he thought the world of David Cassidy. I don't know. I watched the show though. I'm kidding. None of us guys bought the Partridge Family comic. HR puffin stuff. I can't sing the rest of that. Troy Pacelli, you were a big man for admitting that, sir. I didn't buy the Partridge Family, but if I'd ever seen it, I probably would have. Well, that's fair enough, dude. I do love the Wacky Races. Yeah, let's find the Wacky Races. But I mean, just all these TV tie-ins, these cartoon tie-ins, are just incredible, though. Underdog. Speed of lightning, roar of thunder. Okay. Show of hands, who bought Falling in Love number 28 when it came out November 1971? I want to know. Who bought it? Who bought it? Who bought it? Who bought it? All right. Just checking. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying, D, but I probably would now. Again, this is the time machine. I probably would buy Partridge Family. I probably would. But I wouldn't buy Falling in Love, even though it has the Love comics. I don't know. Nothing wrong with them. Great Sergeant Rock cover. I should have got this one, Our Army at War. Great Joe Kubert cover on that one there. Should have got this one. I'm going to go back to the store and grab this one. Troy, no romance comics for you, huh? D-Bud, I don't blame you, dude. I would have bought it. I mean, I'd go back and buy it now probably because you never. Who knows what those things are going for? I mean, people like to say that, right? Well, that was something now. I don't know about all that, but A friend played a mean trick on him once. He was told a Wesley comic was being sold 250 miles away. He drove all night to be first in line. Alas, it was a trick. Yeah, he really got me on that one. I bet Clobby would buy the old Kirby romance comics. As a matter of fact, Two Morrows has a book that I'm very tempted to get, D-Bud. It's called Dingbats in Love. It's a Kirby reprint of some of those Kirby comics of his, of some of the Kirby's romance comics, and some of the ones he did. It has some unpublished stuff from the 70s. It's a Kirby book because Kirby did love comics, and they've got a sale going on this week. I'm very tempted to grab that book. I might wait till it goes down a little bit more, but yes, I would buy that. Yeah, but it's Kirby. I have an excuse, a built-in excuse. Let's see here. What's another one of note? There we go with the Wacky Races. Did anybody buy Wacky Races? I used to watch the cartoon. Just amazing how many of these, cartoon and TV tie-in comics there were back then, and not by Marvel. It was, again, it was Gold Key, it was Charlton, it was, I don't know, even it was, I guess Archie and Harvey had some as well, I believe. In fact, I'm already preparing, week 1 of December to the video to come out this Wednesday. When do you see the weird thing that I got on there? I got a weird one on there. Well, I think it's weird. Did Lancelot Link have a comic? He had one, but did he have a series or was it one shot? What was it? Who published that one there, D-Bud? There it is right there. Okay, Gold Key. Number 4. All right, Snorta Poopus, have a good one, buddy. Thank you for being here tonight. Wow, Gold Key. Pretty cool. Crazy, huh? That is wild, weird stuff. Crazy nuts. Okay, did anyone buy this one? I don't know. I love this website. How about Mod Wheels? Who bought Mod Wheels? From Gold Key. Bueller. Who bought what Mod Wheels from Gold Key? Anybody? No. All righty then. Let's see here. It's most of the weird stuff right there. Heckle and Jekyll. Gotta love Heckle and Jekyll. Now you, D-Bud, I know you. Did you buy Richie Rich? I know you liked hot stuff. I know you bought a lot of the Harvey comics, right? Oh, you still have Hair Bear? Oh my goodness, dude. Really? Wow. Let me go back and find that. Wow. Hair Bear Bunch number 1. And D-Bud still has it. That's what I'm talking about right there, dude. I watched this cartoon. The Hair Bear Bunch. That's fantastic. That's amazing. That's cool stuff there. I'm glad. But there you go. That's why I like to do the kind of the catch up, the stream of it to show some of these things. I like to know what people were buying back then. Let's see here. Forbidden Love. Okay, Hungry Boy, I have a question for you, sir. It's a weird one, but this cover is credited to Jeffrey Catherine Jones. Now, we all know the artist Jeff Jones from the 70s. Who did a lot of really nice art. Very good artist. But why is his name Catherine? I'm pretty sure Jeff and Catherine don't. I mean, even back, especially back then. I know the times we live in now, but I always just knew him as Jeff Jones. He did. Okay. All right. Again, no judgment. I really was curious about that. If you pardon, not intended to be a pun. Okay. I did not know about Jeff Jones because see, Jeff didn't really do a lot. But I mean, beyond the 70s or 80s, he didn't see much. He was an excellent artist. Look at that. I mean, a great artist. I got you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that again. And it's no disrespect to Jeffrey. I just honestly did not know that he had done that or that had been the case. So there you go. I mean, that was my suspicion, but I didn't just want to say it because I had no way of knowing that. Okay. Well, there you go. But I wonder where he went, though, in terms of he or she went as an artist. I didn't see much past the 80s. Obviously, like a lot of artists back then, just went on to another field, I guess. Okay. Now, week 2, folks. Yeah. Okay, I got you. Well, there you go. So week 2, we've got some losers. The Captain Storm, of course. Some Kubert cover going on. This was an amazing Neil Adams cover on Phantom Stranger. Some subby. Again, by the way, also should point out you get some Jim Aparo interior on a great Neil Adams cover. God, what a great time to be buying comics, huh? Got some subby with Stingray. That dude, what the hell was his deal anyway? He popped up later, Marvel 2-in-1, didn't he? Let's see here. Son of Tomahawk. Again, I'm in the store. I can't resist. Kubert cover. Some Cardi work interior. A lot of cool reprints. What are you going to do? Kalel, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Troy, it's funny you mentioned losers. The Batman The Dong Halloween Part 1 Blu-ray, which again, I've been all over Batman Long Halloween Blu-ray. I mean, animated Part one was pretty good. Had some bad things in it, but it was pretty good. It was part two that was horrible. But the Blu-ray has one of those DC animated shorts of the losers in it, believe it or not, which is kind of worth watching. Kind of check it out. Let's see here. Phantom Outsiders. Wow, five of the books that came out this month still in this collection. Wow, nice. All right, let's see here. Master Drapery. So yeah, great stuff right here. And this one dedicated, well, to Steve Mitchum, because he's a fan of Dark Shadows, and of course also our wonderful first officer, the magnificent Raquel Briggs, because she loves these gold key covers. She didn't know anything. She didn't know about Dark Shadows, but we told her a little bit about it. But just these gold key covers, well, George Wilson was just incredible. Incredible. Barnabas returns to the scene of the crime and the curse that follows it. Yeah. What an amazing. It's funny. I always kind of took the gold key covers for granted back then. I looked at them. I would open them up and flip the comics, and they never looked as good in the interior, rarely anyway, as the covers. So I would put them back down. I thought they were interesting to look at on the shelf or rack. And then I would buy a Marvel or DC comic. I was such a zombie. But not a Marvel zombie, a Marvel DC zombie. Yes, he must have been incredibly fast. It was prolific beyond belief because he didn't just do Gold Key comics. He did lots and lots and lots of covers of paperbacks. When Maddie was born, I'd watch an episode of Dark Shadows while I was giving her midnight bottle. Oh, yeah. Indeed. Well, great show. And, of course, King Alert. We got a Jack Kirby. King Alert. Mr. Miracle. Enough said, huh? The King. Just a powerful cover by the King of Comics. Love this. Classic. I touched on this a little bit when I did the video. Elliot Magan wrote some pretty good Superman stuff, and this was you probably all remember this. Must There Be a Superman story? If you haven't read it, I won't spoil it. It's only 50 years old, but it's a classic and it's great. Man, just makes me want to reread it again. That's all. But that title always stuck out. Must There Be a Superman? Yes, there must. But there aren't any more. Okay. How do you say it now? Do you say Khazar or Khazar? I used to say just Khazar out of habit, but I think it's Khazar. A character as old as Subby himself, who had a great run. Khazar had these were cool. I like these Astonishing Tales adventures, but did anyone read that early 80s Bruce Jones, Brent Anderson run of Khazar? Or you could say Khazar. There's no law against either. Lord of the Hidden Jungle. Did anyone read that run though? Of the one that eventually, after it first started, it eventually went direct sales. That was a pretty good run by Bruce Jones and Brent Anderson. I liked it. Early 80s. 80, 81, somewhere up in there for a few years it lasted. Good stuff. Good comic. I mean, these were good too. Now you got to love these because I think I stuck with it for a good while. Hungry. I bought it. It would need it. Okay. It can't be Khazar. It's gotta Khazar with that dash there does make sense. So, after I don't know 7-8 issues or whatever, Hungry Boy, it went direct sales. As did Moon Knight at the same time, and Micronauts, if you remember. Okay. Well, D-Bud, I recommend the Bruce Jones, Brent Anderson run if you ever come across him. It was pretty good. I've been quite some time. I probably go back and grab that pretty soon. It was called Khazar the Savage. Rawhide Kid. Yes. Can never go wrong with a Gil Kane and Bill Everett cover, can you? I don't think ROM went direct sales, though, Phantom Outsider. If that's what you mean. You may not have meant that, buddy. So, I don't know. Teen Titans. George Tuska. Don't worry, D-Bud. I'm not going to beat up on George Tuska, but I am going to make a little fun of Bob Haney. This story, look, Hungry Boy, I don't know if you're familiar with the big Bob Haney guy, but if you've never read, is he underrated, Steve? I mean, it could be because he certainly is one of the greats. You might be right, brother. He is fantastic. If you've never read a Bob Haney story, then you've never read a comic book, folks. This issue, no Tuska bashing, I promise. No Tuska bashing, D-Bud. Oh, but if you've never read a Bob Haney comic book, well, you got to try it one of these days. If you really enjoy Insane Comics, the Comic Relief Crusader, I would say that no, his Teen Titans were kind of normal. They were weird, but so not necessarily this comic. But if you ever can read some of his Brave and the Bold, they are good. No, they are bonkers. I'll put it to you like this. After Crisis on Infinite Earths came out in the mid 80s, there was a company called IGC or something like that. I don't know how they got away with it, or unless they did it with a conjunction with GC. I can't remember. But they published these little black and white mags, comic book sized black and white magazines called the Crisis on Infinite Earths Index, and a couple of different of these crisis indexes. And in one of them, it was the alternate Earth, and it was some kind of it was one of these follow up of the indexes there, and they were talking about the different Earths, Earth 1, 2, 3, Earth X, Earth S, and all this other stuff. And then they had to make up one called Earth B for Bob Haney, Earth B, because they used to call him around DC. That he's a writer who, put to you like this, they called him Mr. Continuity. I'm trying to put it, he wrote so crazy with his continuity, he just didn't respect it at all. And he's not like, and I think Murray Boltonoff was his editor and let him get away with it, because if your editor was E. Nelson Bridwell, that guy was a stickler for continuity. He was Earth B for Bob, really, but yeah. There's an issue of Brave and Bold in which He used to team up with Sergeant Rock in Brave and the Bold a lot. Sergeant Rock, who most of his adventures obviously was in World War II, but Rock was just walking around, a little bit older, but having adventures. He teamed up with Batman a couple of times, and one of them is in the modern day. And there's this guy with a hood pointing a gun at Jim Aparo, the artist. Yes, he drew it on the cover. He's telling him to draw Sergeant Rock killing Batman. He says, hurry it up, Jim. Hurry up, Aparo, whatever. Rock kills Batman or I kill you. Well, if you think that cover is bonkers, read that story. There's also an issue with it. Batman teams up with the Teen Titans. The teen hippies, where there are a bunch of hippies about hippie protesters. But when you think this Batman has nothing to do with Batman. I mean, he's like, it wasn't really written like Batman. He was just a guy running around, just teaming up with superheroes, having adventures that did not fit into Batman. I liked in that Rock issue, for example, he and Sergeant Rock are at police headquarters, and they go out to go after a criminal or something. They just get in a police car. Batman drives a police car, and you sit there going, wait a minute, where's the Batmobile? I don't know. Hell if I know. They don't explain. Just Batman and Rock in a police car. Why? I don't know. And Sergeant Rock is having to hide from these hooded guys who Jim Aparo, in the comic, the artist, keeps talking to his editor, Murray, and his writer, Bob, and he's having to hide all over the place because these guys want to kill him because he won't draw Rock killing Batman. And I can't even begin to put it. I'm not even doing it justice because you read it and your brain fries it fries and it blows up into a million pieces because you don't even know what you're reading. Like, holy crap, what were these guys on? I know it was the early 70s, but Jesus. And it's got great Jim Aparo art. And again, one day, I know I can't like show it all on here, but I might just read it or something on here, something like that. I don't know. So anyway, I'm definitely not doing it justice. It's a nutty, nutty comic. So okay. All right. Sorry about that. I was having a bit of a difficulty there. Okay, next. Week 3. I believe it was a lot higher than issue number 24 of Phantom. Maybe 124. All right. Now, week 3 of November 1971 is a week for landmarks. A big one. Look at this. Tomb of Dracula. Tomb of Dracula. Number 1. No problem, Phantom. Oh, I didn't know that chat was going on about. Let's see here. Steve says, I seem to be in the minority, but I also don't like Paul Smith's art either. The way he rushes the hair makes it look weird. I do like some of Paul Smith's work. Didn't he have? Who was inking him on X-Men though? Was it Rubenstein or Bob Wyacek or somebody like that? Hungry Boy. Because I thought he was okay on X-Men. I actually liked the Elseworlds he did called Golden Age with written by James Robinson. He was a buddy of mine, helped work on the art on that one. Oh, here we go with a spammer. Wyachek. Okay. Remember how they used to explain how to pronounce Wyachek's name? They'd say Wyachek. Why not Cash? Well, I can't remember who inked him on Golden Age, but that was a good comment. So I do like some of Paul Smith's stuff. I do like Rubenstein as well. Yeah. Tomb of Dracula. I remember the first 7 or 8 issues or so. Were they 7 or something? Where some of them were like by Jerry Conway, and a couple others, and then Wolfman came on with issue number 7, I think, or 8 or whatever it was. Yes, they do, Mark. Anyway, and then Wolfman did the rest of the run. A lot of people don't know. They think Wolfman did the whole run of Tomb of Dracula, but early on it was these gents. So, but Gene Colan did pretty much the whole thing, if I'm not mistaken. 70 issues and some manuals. This was a great comic, though. I love this. This is another one I plan to go revisit soon. The reprint days of the X-Men. Yeah, but you got to read the old stuff, and you got a Gil Kane cover out of it. What do you want in life, huh? Kirby alert, King alert, King alert, King alert. Yeah. What can you do? Hey, Yay, what's up, Darth Aster? What's up, buddy? Yeah, we had one for a minute there. I get it a little bit every now and then. We all get those sometimes. Last night on our boy Mark D's stream, he got one. He got a couple. And I always forgot where I was today watching somebody streaming. They got one as well. So it's all over the place now. The thing is, that one was just one of those stupid porn bots or whatever. There was one that popped in last night that was not a porn thingy, and it was really disgusting. It was horrible. It was definitely not designed. It was designed to do a lot of damage to a channel, it seemed like to me. Yep, it was his actual name. That's true. That's actually true. Random Outsider. Well, they couldn't do vampire books for a while, as you know. So anyway, yes, sir. Yeah. Another weird point in comic book history. This issue of FF featuring the Black Leopard. Kogi Pan, hello there. True, Darth, true. Yes, Kalel, I was over there at Michael French's Retro Blasting stream also, and yes, he was getting spammed. Everyone gets it now. It's just pathetic. But what thing is, only ones I've seen so far are the ones that are just a stupid porn crap. There was one last night that wasn't. It was that popped up on Mark's that was not. Some were, but one of them was different. It was one of these ones where they're just saying really horrible things that that would get you in trouble, just to be saying them just with the purpose of getting you in trouble. It was horrible. Absolute worthless scumbags do shit like that. Okay, so the Black Leopard, this is the first time and one of the few times he called himself the Black Leopard, because at the time, the Black Panthers, the real group in real life, was making some trouble, and Marvel wanted to steer away from the controversy. So T'Challa was calling himself Black Leopard. It didn't last long, year or two, whatever it was, and yeah. I love the way Buscema drew T'Challa, especially when the inker was. Yes, that was absolutely Synod, and that's Synod on that one. my beloved Synod. But yes, this was great stuff. I love the John Buscema Synod FFs. Yes, it was pretty ugly stuff, though. Fandom, absolutely. Another first. What a week this was. You had the first appearance of Adam Warlock as Adam Warlock. Of course, he previously appeared in Fantastic Four as him. But here he is in Marvel Premiere #1. With a nice Gil Kane cover. Very, very true, Troy. Very, very true, and sad as well. Monsters on the prowl. I bought this one. Well, I selected this one obviously because I like the old monster reprints and stuff. They're fun, but this John Severin cover alone, what a great cover for I love John Severin. He's got a new book out. Tomorrow's is coming out with a new art book for John Severin. They've got one they did for Marie Severin years ago. And Hungry Boy, I don't know about you, but I love both Marie and John Severin. They were fantastic. And here's another one, a Severin cover. Look at this, like 2 in a row. Look, he could do the great monster cover. Or the great Western cover. And this Western has some Manila and Doug Wiley stuff in there. Oops. And the Sarge Fury. Gil Kane cover. This, when you could put Yahtzees on your cover of a comic book and no one lost their mind. All right, now this one here deserves some talk. What I admire of the Severins was that they made art that looked like 50s and 60s movies. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, true. I loved them both on Hulk. Of course, not Brand X. Marie was really a talented cartoonist. She could do serious. She could do the funny stuff and not Brand X. She was really great. She was absolutely great. Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane. This, of course, had the first appearance of, not the first appearance of Morgan Edge, but the first one is actually really Morgan Edge. It's hard to explain. But this cover's hilarious. It's this madman at large. He's holding this this newspaper. This goes to show you how much Superman couldn't stand Lois Lane back then. All this business about them getting married, I never liked it, to be honest with you. I like Lana. I don't like. Look, I know it's popular over the past 20, 30 years for Superman and Lois to be married and all that kind of stuff. Hogwash. I don't like Superman married to Lois Lane. It never did anything for me. Screw it. I know you had to move with the times, but look, it says he's holding a paper that says Madman at Large. We can see, of course, the madman right around the corner. Don't worry. He says, careful, Lois. That madman's loose somewhere in this area. Don't worry, Superman. I can take care of myself. Superman has super hearing and X-ray vision. He can't sense the madman right there, or can he? There's a missing caption balloon saying, I'm finally done with this stupid bitch because madman's about to get her and take her out of my life forever. I'm in my misery. Go for it. I mean, see you, Lois. I'm sure you're perfectly safe right there with the madman right around the corner. Anyway, nice Dick Giordano cover. I love the old Golden Age Supermans where Lois is so cruel to Clark, and as soon as she's out of sight, he laughs at her. Why do you assume that guy is the madman? He could be a pianist. He could be warming up those fingers. Yeah, Lois looks good now. She does look good. No question about it. For Raquel, if she was here, because I know she loves Tarzan. Who doesn't? I love Tarzan as well. Korak, son of Tarzan, in this case, based on Edgar Rice Burroughs' stories. And again, Mr. George Wilson. Worth it for the cover alone, buddies. Yeah. We're now at week 4. Big shout out to our wonderful first officer, Raquel. Oops. Because she loves her some Gold Key Star Trek now. Here you go, Star Trek number 13. In doing my research, I was actually, Hungry Boy was actually kind of shocked that, oh, wait, I'm sorry. Kalel says, I didn't mind when DC killed Superman and ultimately brought him back, but did they have to kill him a second time by having him marry Lois? Good point, Kalel. But, yeah. Again, I wasn't really reading the comic much at that point anyway, to be fair. But, what's up, bro? Welcome to the show, everyone. Mark D with AC.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I always hate to prevail upon you, but I figure if you got nothing else better to do, man, you're always welcome to hang.
Well, I was watching Stargirl before your show started, but I don't know if that's better. But
no, well, dude, you could just said you were busy.
No, I wasn't busy. I was watching. Just joking. I was watching Stargirl, and I put.
Gotcha.
Of course, put your show on. Yep. And can you go back to that picture of Lois? Wow.
Sure.
I'm just joking. Yeah.
It's okay. I can.
No.
It's right.
Very, very cute. Yep. I guess this is back in the good old days, right?
Yeah, 1971. That's Superman's annoying girlfriend Lois Lane. This one's, but Raquel would like this one. Gold Key Star Trek is her jam there. Spock is doing everybody was Spock Fu fighting. Yeah,
and
not
actually,
Kirk Fu, Spock Fu.
Spock Fu, yeah. Comicology has, like we were saying before, has good, some good sales. And I think a lot of the gold keys were actually on sale today too for Star Trek gold keys. Yep. And if you do Comicology Unlimited, you can get all the gold keys. There's a ton of stuff you can get. I think it's $5 a month or $6 a month. But
yeah, I'm seeing some pretty good stuff on there. I'm probably gonna. I'm gonna probably just pick up some stuff then before they close it up tonight. Later, if I think about it in time, maybe even those Hawkeye trades that you want me to get there.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, you can tell me what you think of them. Yep. But I picked up the Art of George Perez for 89 cents today.
What?
Yeah,
I gotta dig that up. Let's see here.
Yeah, well, they give you if you open an account, you get 7 days unlimited for free. So they give you the 10% discount on top of. I don't know why, but I got an extra 10 cents off, which would have been a comic book from the 50s, right?
Yes.
So,
I didn't know. That's pretty good, though. Let's see.
Yeah, it was the Art of George Perez. I didn't even open. I said, well, whatever's in there for $1, it's worth it.
George Perez Storyteller. Is that the one?
Maybe that was it. Yeah, let me check to see which one it was.
Could be that or wow, it's 99 cents.
Yeah, so I didn't even open it up. I said, if it's 99 cents, it's got George Perez art in it. It's can't go wrong.
In there. Yeah. I wonder if this is from Pace Setter. It's pretty cool though. Well, there you go. Nice, love it. This says George Perez Storyteller, but that doesn't mean it's not called George Perez.
Yeah, that's the one I got. Yeah,
nice.
Let's see what's in there. Well, maybe it's just it's probably just artwork. It's probably not a story, but like a coffee. I'm guessing like some kind of coffee table book. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, he used to have a fanzine called Pace Setter. Okay. It was all about George Perez. Remember, I told you that. I can't remember. Some guy in Florida, I think, was producing it, but or making it. But I learned many years ago. The plant I worked at down here in Louisiana, we were we were publishing that for them. We were printing it, and I'm walking through the plant one day. I'd bought it a couple of times at comic shops or whatever. And I walk and I see an issue of it in one of the bins, like a bunch of refuse of messed up copies that out there you would have had. You would not believe the spoilage at any printing plant. I can only imagine what it was like at the comics, ones where comics were made back in at World Color Press back in the 60s and 70s or whatever. But I was seeing all these. I said, paste it. I walk up to the guy who handles the account. I said, where'd you get that? He says, you know about that? I said, it's George Perez. It's George Perez fan reading. Yeah. I knew, and he's been the one handling the account for the past 4, 5, 6 issues, whatever it was. And I knew more about it than him. And it was his account. He just gave me a bunch of copies and free copies he had on file and stuff. It was pretty cool. So
that's always nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be back. Yeah. One of my mom's friends and the husband was publishing at DC. So for a while, he was giving me stacks of DC books. While I was there, just I guess they get like some of the artists, I guess, they get sent everything each month, right? So
sure.
So so he was getting, as a publisher, I guess part of DC, he was getting like everything. And it's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with these? Yeah, he's like, what am I going to do with these? Right?
Well, you get comps. Back in the early 2000s, I was buying comps from Larry Hama, Bo Smith, and a couple other people. They would sell like their archives on Legion Archives. At that time, you couldn't get them super, super cheap, but they would still it wasn't even the comics they didn't even work on. If you were in the business, you got comped a lot of stuff, and they would sell it. And I used to buy stuff from Hama, Bo Smith, and stuff, and they'd be like, $20, $25 for an archives. Back then, we thought that was amazing. That was damn cheap because these are $50 and $60 books. And I was getting them off of eBay, and they were just comps that these guys got for free. They were making a lot of money on them.
So they're just selling them on eBay, yeah.
Yep. Again, they probably don't do that anymore. The same way.
Paul Kupperberg was selling a lot of stuff on eBay. I don't know if he still is.
Probably comps.
Yep, it could have been comps. Yep.
There's some artists. There are some artists who equal Perez's layout ability, but none superseded him. And that's coming from someone who knows his art. I love Perez. Hungry Boy Perez is. Oh, I'd have to check my list about it. A little over a year ago, Hungry Boy, my good buddy, who this show is named after, Mark C. As in Mark C. Comics Talk, our dear departed friend, and we did our countdown of our top 25 all-time favorite comic book artists. And you could rest assured Mr. Perez was on both of our lists. At the moment, I can't remember exactly where he placed. But he was there. Because
he's got to be up there. Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. No one draws a superhero crowd scene like him.
And I've told this story a bunch of times, but I got to meet him at my local shop. And I mean, it's just a really small shop. So it's not like it was, it's not like it's Midtown Manhattan, the big store there. But, and then my son, long story short, because I've told it before, he was only signing books. So I got a lot of FF books signed. You could do 5 at a time and you could go back online. He'd sign 5 more. And my son asked him, it's like, I told him who, he did, Cyborg, and that's back when the cartoon was really popular. So my son's like 5 and this really cute baby voice, Mr. Perez, could you please draw me a picture of Cyborg? The cute baby boy, the little 5-year-old kid. God, I wish I had a picture of that. And he's like, what's your name? Charlie. Oh, Charlie, since you asked me so nicely, I wasn't supposed to draw anything today, but for you, I'll do it. And then like the next, parent who's ever the kid or whatever, it's like, well, do you mind doing a sketch? And he's like, oh, screw it. Whatever. I'll do one for, everyone over, there were only like, 20 people in there, 15 people. But then everyone was, it's like, we owe your son. He's like, we all got sketches from Mr. Perez, George Perez. So I've got this cool, it's in his room. It's hanging, the cool Cyborg sketch, to him. So very cool. Really nice guy. Besides extremely talented.
I just checked my list. I got Perez at my number 3 all-time favorite. That's pretty damn high.
Yep.
I mean,
I'm guessing who number 1 is. That's an easy one.
Gee, that's a toughie, isn't it?
That's a tough one. Yeah.
I surprised Mark though, because we all know who his favorite one is.
Byrne, yep.
Yeah, Mark loved John Burney.
John Burney.
I had Byrne not only in my top 25, but very high. I shocked him.
Oh,
because I
okay.
love Byrne's art. Byrne, I may be pissed off at Byrne, but yeah. Um. So yeah, Strange Adventures. I love me. This guy's also in my top artists of all time. Joe Kubert. He's in my Hall of Fame. He is just fantastic. By the way, in the next week or two, uh, part 3 of the Clobberin Times Comics Creators Hall of Fame, where I will induct 10 more uh, great comic book great creators in my Hall of Fame. It'll be on a, if not next Monday night, the next. It might be next Monday night. I'll have to say. I've already done two of them, right? I think I've done two. Yeah,
Yeah, you did two of them, right? Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, and some of you might be surprised by some of the people who get in that third one. Nah, you won't. What am I gonna say? But this one, basically, obviously, Strange Adventures. I love Adam Strange, so I had to have it, and I love a Joe Kubert cover. Got some great Infantino art in there as well, and this is a real no-brainer as to why I have this one. I actually think this is one of the comics I still have because I have a pretty decent run of Superboy.
That doesn't surprise me.
D-Bud, if D-Bud and I mean, I'm a Hungry Boy. I'm sorry, I meant Hungry Boy. I would love to have you there. I hope you will be there for that.
We must
Yeah,
separate Burns' personality from his abilities. Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, look, he made okay. He made number 9 on my list. Are you shocked? Because I know my boy Mark was shocked.
Well,
So,
he's talented guy, right? Yeah, but
well, I made a video about Englehart today, Phantom Outsider. I guess you probably know that. So, yeah. Well, anyway, but yes, of course, I love this one. Just because I love they had Legion reprints at this point, but this was before the book. A lot of people don't know this. Superboy became Superboy, and then the Legion took over this comic and then pushed him out of his own comic. Around let's see, around 194 or something, it became Superboy starring the Legion of Superheroes. Not too many issues later, it became Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, and then finally with number 259, it became Legion of Superheroes, and then lasted into 300 somethings or others before they finally went into reprints and then finally stopped. So, in case you're wondering what happened, that's like many titles that got absorbed, got changed around.
what did they in the publishing? What did they change? It actually was a total title change, but they kept the issue number. Or sometimes they would go back and I
That
guess
was
yeah, and
that was before companies would cared so much about making everything restarting a title over. They wouldn't restart titles over nearly as much. So yeah, they did that with a lot of comics. A lot of comics completely changed the title but kept the issue numbering.
well, yeah, Thor,
Journey into Mystery being a big
Journey into
one.
Mystery, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, today that would have been number 1. Yeah, I was reading something last week. We were talking about it's like, I was looking, doing research on the new Thing comic, and it's like, and this month Marvel has 5 number 1s for you. It's like 5
Yep.
number 1s. How about some good comics? I don't care if they're number 1s, right?
Yep.
They're just rebooting everything, so it's crazy.
Absolutely. And at that point, Phantom, I hear you. They probably should have just started Legion at number 1, which they did many years later for the Baxter book. And to a lesser degree, Neil Adams, although I'm pretty sure he has a condition. I met him 3 times, and one of those times he was really nice. I'm thinking he's medicated. Neil has the reputation for not being all that nice sometimes. They've been saying, people have said before, like, don't show Neil Adams your art unless you want him to tell you what he thinks about it. This one we dedicate to our wonderful First Officer Raquel because she loves those beautiful George Wilson Twilight Zone covers. And so, again, I was surprised earlier when I showed the Star Trek one. Lynn Wein, the great Lynn Wein, who was just passed tragically a good while, not too long ago. Man, he got around. I didn't realize he did so much work for Gold Key, but he sure did. And yeah. Let's see here. Good Lord. This is Cary Bates. Cary Bates, the gimmick writer. He was a gimmick writer, but I like the Superman stuff. I mean, especially because he was so good at writing gimmicks for the Flash to use his super speed. Flash facts. But yeah, I love the Swan Anderson team on Superman, and we have some nice reprints in that one. Let's see here. Let's go real quick. Bob Oxner. I don't know. Adventure and this is another one. Adventure Comics. It had so many different headliners. So I don't. Supergirl, Aquaman, Spectre. Made so many different, and they've been around for so long.
At any point in Adventure, or was that?
Oh yeah. Yep. Legion started out in Adventure number 247. So, yeah. Oh yeah, he was. Let's see here. Let's see. That's his bed.
Oh, good night, Steve Mitchum.
All right, Steve Mitchum. Thank you, bro. Good seeing you, buddy. Thank you for being here, man. Lynn was as much of a wonderful in-person guy as he was a writer. I was lucky to be on a panel with him. Oh, that's great. That's great to hear, Hunker Boy. I loved Lynn Wein. I mean, he was a great writer, and he was just I never got to meet him. I met Wolfman, but his best buddy Wolfman, but I never met Wein. But I did hear a story. One of them, I think either Wolfman or Wein, told how they went. Did they go? Was it them that went hitchhiking? Well, a lot of people did it. Out to Thousand Oaks, California, or wherever it was where the Kirbys lived, and knocked on Jack Kirby and Ross Kirby's door before they got into the business, maybe as kids or as teenagers or whatever. I think it might be them. I met Jim Shooter once. He was nice, but he did call my Adventure Comics. He did call my Adventure Comics. He wrote potato eared. It's not like I had them right off the rack. Well, yeah. Oh God. I think I met Shooter once. I mean, look, Shooter, I would argue ran Marvel into the ground in the 80s. I mean, there were a lot of Marvel was pretty crappy in the 80s for their mainstream stuff, in my opinion. But I was going through a time where I wanted better writing, and Marvel, I think he chased a lot of people away from there. On the other hand, and again, that's opinion. I'm not on the inside like a lot of people, so I'm nobody. I'm nothing. But I do love his Valiant stuff in the early 80s for a good solid few years there. Those Valiant comics were great, in my opinion. Adventure Comics became Supergirl, and no, actually, Supergirl started her own series later, called New Adventures of Supergirl or whatever. Adventure Comics lasted until about around issue 493. It became a digest reprint, Troy, and then for about did Legion reprints and other reprints of other stuff into like issue number 503 or something like that, and then it stopped. And so, yeah, that was the fate of Adventure Comics. I mean, before that, it had been a dollar series, like one of the big dollar books. It'd been all over the place. But, yeah, so Supergirl had headlined Adventure Comics, but Adventure, like I say, its fate was to become a digest. Let's see. No, the Supergirl title predated the Daring New Adventures. Well, no, like I said, Adventure Comics became a digest. She's headlined Adventure, as you can see. That's right. They had Dial H for Hero. They had, they did a lot of stuff. Now, that, by the way, that Daring New Adventures of Supergirl, I got to tell you, I don't think that's some of Carmen Infantino's best stuff, buddy. I don't know. Just me.
I always like that costume, though.
That's right. Oh, well, yeah, they had Deadman, they had JSA, they had a lot of stuff. Well, you like this costume? Yeah, this costume I like.
Yeah, something about it. It's nice. Yeah.
And this is what we're talking about. I just love being a Gil King Daredevil cover. I never understood why sometimes they would make the DDs black. Then again, I haven't cracked this particular comic open or even a reprint of it in a long time. So anyway, I'm sure somebody will remember. But yeah, again, the Dean run. What a freaky cover for a Batman. A Neil Adams cover.
Weird, yeah. Strange
What's
mystery:
that?
the slain statues of Batman.
George.
Oh, that's right. Yep, George. Yep.
George of the jungle. So yeah, freaky cover. This guy is being murdered with Batman statues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not good.
You know, for those who were following the comic at the time, of course, it's a Neil Adams cover, but Irv Novick Batman was okay. Dick Giordano could kind of, do a good job on anyone, but honestly, I think Irv Novick, I don't know, what do you think, Hungry Boy? I thought Irv Novick was better for Flash, personally. Oh, he's wrenching over at comics and he put the George. That's okay. I figured they were on. That's okay. I don't know George personally. I think I was on a panel with him for a couple of minutes on Nick's, but he's a good bloke, so that's perfectly fine. And I hope people do subscribe to him.
You could leave that up. That's okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's cool. Leave it up there. I think everybody here is probably subscribed to George. I hope I am. I think I am. So don't worry about it. I know you're wrenching at comics. That's cool, man. And I'm just glad to see you here, buddy. I don't know how you do that. Every time I listen, like when I wrench for Polly, but if I ever try to watch one or two other streams, it's crazy.
Eric's got that brain that works really well.
Well, he's the master of wrenching. He really is.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, man. Okay, D-Bud. Now, this is Frank Robbins' only drawing, and Don Heck doing the art. I know you don't want me to beat up on Tuska. How about beating up on Frank Robbins? He didn't do the pencils here, but man, dude, come on. And Don Heck at this point. I just want to make sure that it's okay to, Yeah, he was great at Flash because everybody Irv Novick drew, and he was old at the time. Again, I didn't know that back then, right? Everybody he draws, including Batman, are very skinny. Well, it worked for Barry Allen Flash. He's a runner, but his Batman was a trifle skinny for me. But
Well, that's why the actor who portrays, the Flash has got the physique for it. And when they had that crossover and they had Green Arrow wearing the Flash costume, he didn't look right. So he was joking, like, how the heck does he fit into this? No one looks good in this Flash costume except the lead there. So they did. I know you don't like the chin that they put on the
I hate
Flash
that chin
costume,
strap. Oh, I hate
chin,
it.
but the rest of the costume is pretty good. And then of course they've done a nice job, with the older, bringing the older Flash back. So they had John Wesley Shipp come back now on. Yeah.
By the way, he was too muscle bound for Barry Allen too. To be honest with you,
that's true. Yeah, but they made that costume look good on him. Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see. I appreciate Frank Robbins' art now, especially compared to today's art. I'm trying. Boy, Frank Robbins. Well, we'll look at some one day, but we'll do a Let's Be Mean to Certain Artists Day one night. No, I don't know if I have it in me to do that like I used to. Just kidding. Eric K. secretly has a clone army. He's actually in every live stream, even when he isn't a wrench, earning himself the nickname the Great Golden Wrench. Says the great Chris Persia there. He's like the Impossible Girl, except he's the Impossible Wrench. She was in every part of the Doctor's life, all over the place. Bad analogy. Sorry. I missed this issue of Iron Man at the time. Never saw it at the drugstore. Damn. Great Gil Kane cover. And no, I'm not going to bash Tuska. Is it okay to bash Coletta, though? I'll leave that up to D-Bud, Hungry Boy, and Phantom. They're my old timers here that know these guys. I got to tell you guys, I'm not going to stop beating up on Coletta. Sorry. I understand.
Unless he was working with Kirby, though, right?
He couldn't really ruin Kirby, but he did erase some shit on that, too, though. Gil Kane called him DC Comics' first sanctioned abortionist. And I heard from a friend of mine talked to a guy who worked in the business back in the 70s who claimed that Tuska was messing around with Jeanette Kahn. I don't know if it's true or not. Rumors. I mean, it's 50 years old. Why am I even acting like it's a problem saying it now? I don't know. It's 50 years ago, and he's dead. There was Hungry Boy. I saw on one of the comic book groups on Facebook. I forget which one it was, where we're talking about everyone. A lot of people were beating up on Vinny and his son, Vince Coletta's son, went in there and he was defending his father. He doesn't. I mean, you could understand. He took exception to people,
Yeah, you got to
talking
defend
bad
your
about
dad.
his father.
Yeah.
Now, Gil Kane said Vince Coletta's not a nice guy, but hey, that's still, both gentlemen are deceased. Kane was is well loved and is a legend and is in my Hall of Fame. And Vinny Coletta is not that particular. Two Morrows did one of their hit comics history books called The Thin Black Line about the controversy of Vince Coletta. It was a sort of I need to get it one day because I wasn't going to spend any money on something about Vince Coletta, but it's interesting. I probably need to get the digital if it's cheap now. But it did have the talk. It was about the arguments over Coletta.
Like, I see someone had posted too, doing all those deadlines, and if you're doing an obnoxious number of books a month too, not to excuse it, but back then it was really, hey, I'm sure get the books out, right? We're looking back now, and we want to see all the art, and for them it was a business. I'm sure the artists cared about it, but if you're on a massive deadline and you got to get stuff done for work, not that I like what he did, but I can see, that point too. If you're just got to get that work out and meet that deadline, and you're doing it for money too, right? So I'm sure it was how many titles you could churn out.
He got it done by erasing backgrounds half the damn time.
I know, but
terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible, but that's a corporate world, I guess. Or
he would ink Grell, it would drive me insane. Yeah. Good Lord. And I know Grell didn't like it, and Jim Shooter used to talk shit about artists who didn't want their pencils destroyed by Vince Coletta. He would, like, how dare those guys want their artwork,
preserved,
care about their artwork being screwed over by some hack. Yeah, but what can you do? Like I say, he was good at schedules. That's why Stan loved him. I heard he was a gangsta. I mean, in the actual sense of the term. But again, I don't know. Anyway, what can you do? Great. Again, though, Tuska did, Tuska did have some good Iron Man. It's just that some of Tuska's stuff, dude. No Tuska bashing here for me. Sorry, Dad, man. You are the man of iron. There we go. Reprint.
Triple action.
Marvel triple reprint action.
That's what I thought. I had some real classic FF issues. I'm like,
yeah,
years later, I'm like, I have all these great. I'm like, I remember, you had him as a kid,
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I know I have some of these great issues. I'm like, Kirby art. I'm like, well, what happened to him? And I'd put my collection in order. Then years later, I'm like, oh, you dummy. It's like you had Marvel triple action.
And then Marvel's Greatest Comics.
Yeah, and Marvel's Greatest Comics. Yeah, I was like, oh, drat.
Yeah, you couldn't know, man. You couldn't know.
How much were your comics worth? Show everyone. Oh, I got Superman #1 right here for $100. You can have it. Yeah, it's a reprint. Yeah.
Yep. But to certain people, you can't tell that to. It would believe you. Again, Vinny. But still, this is a John Romita cover, so it's great. Vinny inking Buscema, but still, I like the Buscema run. Gary Conway can go screw himself, but hey. That's a classic cover, though. It's a classic Thor pose, used many times later. So, yeah. That pretty much wraps up November 1977.
71.
Can't get my own years right.
Don't skip.
At least for the ones that I got, of course. Again, look at all these crazy comics, man. Look how many of these comics. So many. Do we have a figure on how much all this would cost, like we did last month? We can ballpark it though, because Phantom ran it one time, and it was like $29.
Yeah, right. Because it's all.
Isn't that insane? So let's just ballpark it at 30, anywhere from the $30 to $35 range, give or take, right? In other words, for under $40, for probably under $35 or around 30, you can buy every one of these titles. Every one of them that came out the month of November 1971. Okay, now you can get 5 comics.
Well, that's how we know time travel doesn't exist, right? Because there'd be a lot of copies of Superman #1 showing up at auction, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible,
Yeah,
man.
what's where do you want to go? I'd like to go back and grab some of those classic issues and come back into the future, right?
So you can't say a word with Phantom Outsider around. Wow, dude. I mean, it's true.
28,050, no,
It's true.
2855.
I
Yeah,
nail him when he get. I only
yeah,
nail
yeah.
you when you get stuff wrong, Phantom, because you do it to me so much. Let's see. November. Oh, you did it. He did it. Look at him. Mr. Smarty Pants did it. 24. Let's see. 125 books. 28. Is that $28.55? Is that
Yeah,
what you mean?
2855. Yeah, I was joking. 28,000. Yeah, $28.55. Yep.
Whoa. Why is that so much more?
Maybe they had some double
Well,
size or dollar. They broke the budget with some dollar comics. Yeah.
I don't know. So Phantom, why is it so much more, dude? Oh, okay. No, all right. Yeah, 2888. But you're saying the December am I seeing that right? All right,
Yeah,
2855.
December's. Yep.
But December's wow. That's a lot. Well, I guess it's Christmas. That makes more sense. A lot of Christmas books and stuff. Okay, for around $40. Let's take the December figure he gave us. Right, gotcha. There's a $10 Superman book.
Oh, $10. Okay. Yep.
Okay, wow. All right, I got you, Phantom. Thank you. I really should probably give him a raise.
Yeah.
Um, so let's just go with the 50 figure for December. I mean the $40, right? 40ish. Rounded at 40. Or 41.40. Today you can walk into a comic shop, get maybe 6-8 comics with that. Not even six
Yep.
or 8 comics. Maybe. What do you think about 6 comics?
Yeah.
8 comics, maybe.
You
None
can
of them
get.
is
You can
good.
get. You can pick one comic and get every cover.
Not every cover. I mean, you couldn't get every cover in some of these. You
Yeah.
couldn't get every variant cover for $40, dude.
Yeah.
That's a good point too. And you'll have nothing good to read because it's 2021. At least in this stack, you'll have some good stuff to read. At least in this stack, Phantom Outsider will be able to read Young Love with a Don Heck cover. There you go. Wow.
So I'm going to do the inflation calculator. So 1971, and we spent $28.55. Let's see what that would cost.
Wow, 6 books.
All right, that would be $194.98.
Say again?
And that would be $194.98 in today's dollars.
Holy shit. Wow.
So not cheap either, but still a hell of a lot cheaper than buying today's books. If you bought 20 books at $4 a pop,
Holy shit.
$80 versus
Look at that.
Look at
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, as I was saying, that's 125 books, right? So
Yeah.
for $194. So today, say for $200, you're dividing that by $4 a book average, right? So that's so you're getting 50 books for the same dollar. So you're getting back then you're getting 2.5 times the number of books. Yeah. So it's just really, really way too expensive now.
Wow. There it is. Oh my God, I have this and had it back then. This is the one he's talking about. Wow. Oh, it didn't change? Hang on. Hang on a second. Here's the book he's talking about. This is a special sneak preview of what is to come next month. I just
$10. That's outrageous.
I never put this book down, man. I never put it down.
Got 388 pages too. Wow.
D.O. Berg. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Back in 1971, I think a new Corvette went for $22K. Wow. This right here, this, and of course, it's funny because since I still had the picture loaded, I had this comic. Now, when I got it at the store, it was a couple years old, I think. I didn't realize it came out this week because I hadn't got to this part yet. But you know what else I had? Now I got a picture of it. Batman from the 30s to the 70s, Superman from the 30s to the 70s. Look at that. Of course, later I got Shazam from the 30s to the 70s. I got Shazam from the 40s to the or from the 30s to the 70s as well, or what have you.
What's the print like on that? Is that regular book print, or is it better than?
It's a hardcover with it. That's a jacket, which I no longer have the jacket to either one of them. That's how I wore these suckers out. And in the inside, there's some color, but most of it's black and white reprints.
Black and white reprints, but the quality of the paper is better. It's good quality.
It's a big book. Yeah. Oh, I saw it at the store. I begged for it so much. It was a Wonder Woman book I never got, but I think it was a little bit different. But this. Or there were these two, then there was Shazam. And
nice.
Wow. How many of you had this? Then later they actually did a reissue of Superman called 30s to the 80s, which I think I got that as well. I can't remember, but I mean, it was 30s. These were the first two. And of course, I also have the Jules Pfeiffer Great Comic Book Collection paperback. I'm sure that's from like 1960 something. It was one of the first reprint books ever. I still have that. Weird. It's weird. A weird thing to have, but I don't know what that thing's worth now. So
those are and that was like you said, there weren't that many ways to get back issues. So other than buying comics, so that's a great way to get all those stories. Yep. Yeah,
and well, that's what really introduced me to I'd seen Superman cartoons. I'd seen George Reeves Superman. Of course, I'd seen Adam West in some cartoons, Filmation cartoons. This is how I got to know the comic book versions of these characters of Superman and Batman. Matthew Pounder, what's up, buddy? Mine are in terrible shape. I don't have the jackets anymore. I'm looking over at them right now. They are wow.
Bad shape.
Yeah.
But well loved. Well loved,
yeah.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, well loved. Oh man, just wore the suck, man. Warm out. And I always love this Infantino Batman cover here. So let's see what else. Yeah, I did. I know my voice is always garbage, but maybe I don't know if it sounds any worse. It really sounded bad
on a little better on
my video.
Yeah. I had a friend who said he lost his voice last week too, and then it wasn't really sick, but it was just his voice went out.
Yeah,
who the heck knows what's going around these days?
I guess it's just one of those things that happens. I mean, I don't know. It does feel weird because I don't feel bad, really, that bad or anything. But it can be annoying when you do what we do so much. But maybe that's part of it, I guess. So I don't know.
Drink some tea with honey.
I am. Oh, I got to put honey in it. I'm just drinking.
You got to put honey in it. You got to get honey in it. Yeah.
Just drinking sweet tea.
Green tea with honey.
The Tomb of Dracula #1 recently sold for both copies 9.8, went for $8K less than a week later.
Wow.
Key collectors. Anyway. So yeah, but anyway, I just went ahead and did it, and I wanted to do a video, and I just can't talk about Batman for too short. And I got to keep going on. It was terrible. I hate the hell out of the video, but I went in and made it anyway.
It was a great video. Enjoyed it. Yeah.
Oh, it sucks, but I mean, it's okay. But I was barely able to get enough pictures up before this thing ran out of space.
Oh, and StreamYard.
Yeah.
Yep.
The overlays.
Yep.
But I wanted to show that talk about that article a little bit that Steve Englehart, because Phantom was mentioning Englehart, how he pretty much his definitive Batman really was kind of what got the ball rolling on there being a Batman movie. And Sam Hamm comes out and says, "Oh, we didn't borrow from it that much." Just shut up, dude. Of course, Sam Hamm was a weenie head. His Batman scripts were kind of poo-poo anyway. So, anyway.
Yep. Well, he wrote the movie, and I think he wrote a few comics. That was it. I think he wrote an annual or Batman 600 or 500. 600 was it? Yeah.
And then he wrote a shitty Watchmen script.
Yep.
But when they hired Englehart, if you can dig up these issues Englehart did of Justice League, that was a pretty good run right there. And he did a short run, especially with his Manhunter story. He did a story like no one escapes the Manhunters. It was pretty good, and he did a couple of other ones because he was writing Avengers at the time, and Jeanette Kahn wanted him to write. They basically wanted him to write Justice League the way he wrote Avengers, and he only did it for like maybe 10 issues or something. I don't know. It didn't last long, but
yeah.
But man, when he did this was constantly being referred to as the definitive Batman. That's what everyone knew it as. Yo, thank you so much, Matthew. I bought the Adams collection of let's see, the Green Lantern, Green Arrow when they did the big ass hardcover back. I think it was late 90s or something like that. And the color in it makes my eyes bleed. And when they did it with Batman, his Batman one like that, I couldn't stand it. I didn't buy it. The coloring sucks. And sometimes when you go to these cons and you go to, I love Neil Adams' work. Well, when you really think about it, it's probably his 80s on down work, let's say. And if we're just being honest, was Miss Mystic the last thing he drew that he even tried to put his art style in? And even that wasn't great. But when he stopped doing the superheroes, But anyway, and when you go to his tables now, and I see all these quote unquote prints that you can buy, which I'm sure you've seen. You've seen them at cons.
Yep.
Some of them are I don't know who inked them, but a lot of them are re-inked, and they look like dog crap.
Yeah, they've been redoing stuff now. Like I was looking at a couple of things on Comicology, and I was looking at some of the Thor issues, and like, and re-inked by so and so. I'm like, I don't want it re-inked. I want the original, or at least give me both in the same book. I guess I don't know, but unless the inking was horrible. But then they were showing also how like modern inkers are just so different than obviously art changes, and they were just the book. They make the books look modern, but I'm like, I don't want it to look modern. I want it to look like when it came out.
Well, yeah. In this case, though, it's Adams. I don't know if it was him. I think it was made as his son Joel or whatever. There's some of his classic, works, but re-inked. I mean, these are just prints, though. Okay, not even comics, just prints.
Just the prints
that you can buy. And I'm like, whoa! I mean, that's it because his ain't cheap. And Hungry Boy. I thought it was referred to as the definitive run at that time. And I think, I'm hard pressed to disagree with him on that, but it didn't go long enough, and it was pretty damn good. I like this run better than some of the other guys who took over later, but yeah, no, I understand though. No, he drew Miss Mystic #1. I don't know if you're familiar with Miss Mystic.
No.
Well, Pacific Comics in the early '80s came out. They managed to snag Kirby, and he did a book called Captain Victory and his Galactic Rangers. And then they managed to snag Neil Adams, and he did a book called Miss Mystic. Well, Kirby was on time, of course. Miss Mystic finally comes out. The guy I'm working for at the time, I'm running the comic shop for him, but I'm not in charge of the orders. He orders like some stupid number on Miss Mystic because it's Neil Adams. And this is the fight we later had about Ronin when he ordered too much of Frank Miller's Ronin. I said, look, I love Neil Adams. And, all I'm telling you is I don't know if this book's going to sell as much as you're ordering. Because, and I don't know anything about, I'm just a punk kid. I'm friggin' barely 18 years old or whatever. I'm just shy of 18 years old, I think, when we were having this argument. And I'm saying, all I'm saying is this, if you got to understand, we don't know who Miss Mystic is. We know he's Neil. There are going to be people that will buy this just because it's Neil Adams. That's true. But this is not like a sure thing. This is not like, with Kirby, even still, we ordered fairly lightly on Kirby, on Captain Victory, but it had already been out for a time. Miss Mystic came out right around the time we were opening, and he ordered a stupid number of them. I'm saying, I don't know if everyone's going to buy this, because just like with Ronin, yes, it's Neil Adams, but it's not like it's
not
Batman
a well-known
comic.
character. Yeah,
It's not Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman. And sure enough, we were stuck with zillions of copies. But a few people bought it. I bought it. And I said, look, I'll buy it. So, some people did buy it, right? And it was all fine and good.
yeah.
And then time was the enemy, because it came in like after people were going to forget. Back then, 5-6 months, it came to the point people would ask and laughing while asking, "Oh, when's Miss Mystic #2 coming out?" I said, "You got me. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know.
Got to use my mystic powers to figure it out."
Exactly. And it was just environmental crap. It was good art. It was a dumb story. I remember reading the first issue. It took about 5 minutes like this, because he can't write. Sorry. In fact, he's a terrible writer. So I was like, okay, it's nice art, but I don't really care. I'll buy the next one and see what happens if I'm not on, disability by then. And I was 18. So I was 18 and I wasn't sure I was going to live long enough to see the second issue. And so he got mad at me because people would come in, and I started calling it Miss Mystic Annual. And this was before a year passed. And then and then he said, we stopped calling it that. People, I said, why? They make everyone laughs. Everyone was calling it that now, Miss Mystic Annual. Well, guess what took about 2 more years to come out?
#2.
After 2 came out, no one gave a shit.
Well, you can buy Miss Mystic #1 for the grand sum
There you go.
of $2.50 right now.
#1, October 82, and that's the cover date probably. #2, February 84. Thank you, D-Bo. I forgot it was that long. Good God.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even annual, it was biannual.
Yeah. So, and wait a minute, it went up in value 25 cents in the last 2 years.
Wow.
Last year.
Later, he started his company, Continuity Associates, and he did great comics like Toy Man or something? Not Toy Man. Toy Boy, and Crazy Man, and Skate Man. I kid you not, Skate Man.
Skate Man, yeah.
Yeah. Whew. And of course, those comics were, he barely did any of the art. People doing it for him. He had a little sweatshop, and they would take forever, and nobody gave a shit. So, yeah.
Well,
times.
They brought Miss Mystic back, the same character. Yeah, 1993 to 94. Neil Adams' Miss Mystic returns in the second volume by Adams' own Continuity Comics.
Yeah.
Miss Mystic was an 18th century mystic who was branded a witch and burned at the stake. Today she lives anew as Earth's cosmic protector. And that made it up to 4 issues. And wow, they were published on time.
He didn't draw him, that's why. He'll say he drew him, and he didn't draw him. Continuity Associates, his little minions drew him.
Yeah, it's not him exactly, 100%. Yeah. So there's a Miss Mystic Volume 2. What else was there? Let's see.
Skate Man was terrible.
And Miss Mystic, Continuity. They reprinted it.
Of course. David Serta, hey there.
Wait a minute, there's an issue 3 of Miss Mystic that came out in 89?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they did 89, yeah. And then they went to then they did volume 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
89 to
from
92.
2 to 3 was 82 to 89.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah.
Nice, huh? Yeah.
And then they did another run. Yeah, another run. Volume 2 came out in 93. Yep, they tried again in 93. Yep.
Oh boy.
Well, maybe she was as popular as Miss Marvel.
Yeah, thank you, Max. Sorry, Matthew. Adams had the audacity to criticize Kirby's writing. Let me tell you something. Kirby was clumsy with his dialogue and stuff sometimes, but he was still great at plotting and having ideas. Adams, on the other hand, all I have to tell you is one thing: Batman Odyssey. If you want to read one of the most unbelievably stupid pieces of garbage, one of the most his writing is so bad. It was already bad on his other stuff. But Batman Odyssey, well, let's put it to you like this. People have criticized Kirby's writing, but no one has ever done to Kirby what they did to that. Batman, yeah, the Krusty Bunkers, Hungry Boy, thank you. That was the name of this little group that did all of his work for him. Batman Odyssey, this video somewhere on YouTube of a troupe of actors doing a voice play reading Batman Odyssey, #1. Because when I read Batman Odyssey #1, I did not think I would ever read a more unbelievably badly, horribly written comic book in my life. I didn't think you could write a comic that bad. And it had to, I thought it was on purpose. Have you ever read that?
No, never read it. No.
Jesus Christ. I thought everyone was like, even if he can't draw like he used to, it's Neil Adams doing a Batman comic. I got to have it. I bought it. Whoo-wee. I mean, I was like, I couldn't. I was like, yeah, the art doesn't look as good as his old stuff. It's very, and I'm no artist, so excuse the term, brushy. His ink's over inked. I mean, his people and his expressions on his faces are unbelievably stupid. Everything is, it's so bad.
How bad was it? No, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. It is so bad that even, never mind.
Even his mom wouldn't buy this book or something. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it's like look at McFarlane, who's famous, had that run on Spider-Man that a lot of people love. I love that run, but then he had to, I guess he was going to walk if he didn't get to write, that Spider-Man, separate Spider-Man book. It wasn't. I don't know, I guess it wasn't great, right? But it wasn't, wasn't A plus writing. It's like just stick to the art,
Yeah.
And of course, he went on to do his own thing, but.
Yeah, everyone loves Spawn but me, so there you go. What do I know? Wow, Phantom Outsider, you are one lucky fella if you haven't seen Batman Odyssey. Woo! I think I didn't. I think at least I didn't buy another issue after #1, but I know people that did buy it. He did another really stupid one many years later called Superman or something like that. It was a really bad Superman comic. Then he did a Fantastic Four comic last year or something like that, but he didn't write it. But he still had no business drawing the Fantastic Four. He draws the Thing. I don't want to think about it. Oh, God. Oh, he's terrible.
Well, you didn't like the you haven't read the Thing issue yet, so we'll talk about.
No, I didn't get it yet. But I need to get it.
But yeah, you weren't too big of a fan. I don't think Hungry Boy liked the art too. I'm trying to think of who else was in the chat where we're talking about it.
I did not read it yet. I plan to read it though. The art will probably grow on me. If the story's got a flip. From your review, I don't like the way he's writing it. So I'm kind of with you already on that. I mean, I don't have to know I know enough for that.
Well, if Fed can turn it around the next issue and use his willpower or something to overcome, what's happening, then I would, like it a little bit more. But if they do 3 or 4 issues of Ben acting like a jerk, it's not going to be too happy about it. Put it that way. So.
Yeah. Hey, Catman. Oh, Catman must have read it. Didn't like the art.
Yeah. He didn't like the art either. Yeah, and we had high hopes for it, so we'll see. And as Steve Mitchum, he calls me the Mr. Rogers of reviewers. But if I really don't like something, I'll say, it's got to be bad. Maybe I'm nice to like mediocre stuff, but yeah, it's if I don't like it, it's I've given my F pluses in the Star Trek show, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you've been brutal sometimes. You ever get this comic, by the way, Detective 500?
Let's see if I have that one. God,
yeah,
I love Aparo. God, that's so good.
Yeah, that's a nice little. I love Garcia Lopez. I love right there. Of course, that's Garcia Lopez. You have this, I know, right?
I'm checking my collection right now.
Batman Hulk.
I had a problem with my my software somehow. It did an update, or I had the wrong database, and I'm like, why am I missing like 1,500 comics? The total, you could do like a total of your comics. I'm like, I'm missing 1,500 comic books. What the hell happened? I just figured it out. It went to the backup or something from a while ago. I was like, oh God. Because then you'd never
go ahead. Sorry.
Never. No, I was saying you'd never figure out what was missing too. When you have that many books, it's not like you can go add the box. Once you have your whole collection, and I'm like, crap, how am I going to find out what's missing? what's missing or what's not in there. So I found, the right database finally. It's like, what's going on?
D-Bud, let me tell you something, buddy, and I'm not just making this up. This is my favorite of the early Marvel DC crossovers. I love nothing beats the wonderful feeling and nostalgia given to me by the first Spider-Man and Superman Spider-Man team up. I thought the second one, even with Shooter writing it of all people, with him was a really good story. The second Superman Spider-Man team up. But this one, Lynn Wein, it's because going in this is such a crazy idea for any kind of a team up or a meeting, versus. But of course, the Garcia Lopez art on this is wonderful. So, and I love this the Treasury. You got to read it in the Treasury edition if you can, or a digital is fine. Lynn Wein wrote a very interesting story. I love, unreservedly love Batman versus the Incredible Hulk. I want to reread it again right now. Oberg, there you go. Dean says, yeah, it is a great comic. Total fun. So if you ever get a chance, buddy, go for it. Netters Network says, I still have a ton of my old comics. Vampirella, cool. Tales from the Crypt, etc. Spider-Man, Superman, Aquaman, and others. Maybe we can discuss them someday. I need to find them first. I would be honored. Absolutely. I would love to.
Very cool.
Yes. Oh, well, I own all the Badger comics. Oh, yeah. Well, that's great. I love Mike Barron. And I got a buddy of mine, Claude, you see here sometimes, Minimus. He's a huge Badger fan as well, and Nexus, of course, and a lot of Mike Barron stuff. And he cosplays. He's the first, got to be the only one of the first guy ever to cosplay Badger back in the 80s. He used to wear that at cons all the time. What looks like they canceled Garcia Lopez Batman? Damn them! I've got the Superman, the first Superman hardcover, the Garcia Lopez Superman hardcover. That's a great one, by the way. Damn them for canceling that. So what were we talking about? This one here, 500.
Yep, 500. Yep. Let me check. I don't think I own that one. Yep.
This one, and Nexus. Steve Rude's fantastic. Hungry Boy. This one here has a great opening story by Alan Brenner with art by Dick Giordano called To Kill a Legend. A great Batman story that I love. That's one, yeah. And it has a lot of good stuff in it. This is how you look at that wraparound cover. This is how you celebrated a landmark back then.
Yep. Oh, that's a great cover guide. Yep. So that was 3/1/81. So that's that was back when I was getting comics sporadically, whatever you get your hands on kind of thing, or those in the stores. So
But oh yeah, I mean, I remember when we were reading about this when there were the solicitations on this, right when I was going in, working for that, going in to start the work for that guy before we started the shop. It was around this time. We had a solicitation on this. I couldn't wait. Troy said I should do a Badger special. Netter could guess, and the other gent you mentioned, that'd be awesome. I'll tell you what, that would be fun. Now, what was I going to tell you? A buddy of mine used to draw Badger for him, also Stephen Butler, and so he's also, he's one of the artists.
Nice.
That used to work on that comic. So now I have to go back and read them. It's been forever since I've read those ones, especially the early ones. But Badger was a fun comic.
Yeah, I was just checking that one out. Yep, interesting. Yep.
What? Which one?
The Badger. Yep. I was just looking
Badger's
those
insane.
up. Yeah.
But Nexus was great, and Mike Barron is a versatile writer. I know you have this one.
Justice League. Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
What year is that? Oh, 87. Yep.
87, wasn't it? 88, 87.
Most my collection is like 2-to-1 Marvel to DC. Basically, I was looking at the numbers, so yeah. I remember that cover though. Yep, remember that cover. Yep.
That's a classic. Oh, we were, again, the regular
want to make
series,
something of it.
Yeah, the regular series at the time, Justice League of America, they just got kind of terrible. Unfortunately, because they kept changing the roster and Crisis jumbled everything up. So they restarted. I was not happy that they changed the numbering. But DeMatteis is a good writer. And of course, this is the first time I've really seen much of anything by Kevin Maguire. Terry Austin inked the cover. I mean, wow. So, and yes, it's an interesting group.
No, it's an iconic cover. Yep, just grabs your attention there.
And then, of course, Batman lays out Guy Gardner with one punch.
Yeah.
One punch.
One punch. Yep.
One punch. I love Back Issue Magazine. That's what this, again, the video was all about. The 30th anniversary a couple years ago. And so, yeah, that's what
everyone can tell that's Michael Keaton, right? When you look at that. So come on, you got to cover your whole face, Bruce. I'm just joking, but like, you know him so well, but you recognize, you can recognize that's just joking. But
at least it gave us the greatest Batman movie of all time.
Mask of the Phantasm, yeah.
Yeah. The greatest Batman ever on a big screen. Ever. Yeah, but like I said, the whole point I make is Batman is versatile. I know they use the word a lot because it really is. He can be. Let's see. Bill Finger created him. I can't remember the name of the guy who drew it. It was Bill Finger and some other guy. What's the name of that guy that artist? Oh, he doesn't
It was
matter.
Stan Lee. Was it Stan Lee?
Yeah, he did the art for this. Yeah, it was. I think it was Bob Kurtz. No, I can't remember his name. Yeah, but yeah, so yeah. I like the silly Batman, the colorful Batman, the Batman who teams up with Superman, and this started it all for me right there, folks. So
make sure you wear your seatbelt.
Bob, what's that again? I can't read that word. Troy says Bob Crane, or is it Bob Klein?
Hogan's Heroes.
Bob Klein, no, Bob Nain. I can't remember the guy's name. It's almost as if I'm forgetting his name on purpose. The way he did after what he did to Bill Finger.
God, that's
Bob
so
Liefeld,
horrible, that story. And then he covered it up for all those years too. That's horrible. Horrible and that was that finally that was that documentary that was out that I can't remember the guy's name that did all the research and finally got credit for Batman and Bill. Yeah.
Yeah,
see, just a disgrace, and just to stand there the whole time and let that happen when you knew,
Matthew, that's Jonathan Crane, by the way. But yeah, it was horrible. Again, there's the thing about that, Troy. I purposely don't say Bob Kay's name because of what he did to Bill Finger and some other people. He was a disgrace. Now, unfortunately, I have a lot of problems with Stan Lee as well. He gets a pass because he's Santa Claus, and a lot of people give him a pass over it. But they shouldn't. Stan did a lot of bad stuff too, and but he gets the pass for doing to more people. Kane did it to one guy in particular. Kirby, Kirby had it done to him, and Ditko and a lot of others by Stan, and yet Stan still gets a pass from most people. But I'm not going to go into the Stan argument here. I'm just saying. Whereas Bob Kane is rightly reviled, and Steranko slapped him once, by the way. And so yeah, Bob Inane, Bob Crane, Bob Klein, Bob Payne.
Yeah, if you haven't watched that documentary, guys, go check that out. So Batman and Me. Yeah.
Very true, Troy. Sad but true. But yes, if you haven't seen the documentary, Batman and Bill. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, Batman and Bill. Yeah.
I think that's what it's name. Isn't that what the name of it? Am I getting it wrong?
Oh, by the power of Google, let's figure it out.
I think it's Batman and Bill, but it's on Hulu.
It must be, yeah. Yeah, 2017, Batman and Bill. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. If you can find Steranko, I forgot where I saw him tell the story a couple different times, and there were people there, and there were people there who saw it, who tell the story. There are people who not even Steranko tell it. They were at that con or wherever where he slapped Bob Kane. Klein, that is. So anyway.
Yeah, it was finally 2015. Yeah, that they got created by Bob and Bill Finger. Yep, on all future Batman media will list created by. Yep. So
It's
As
just a
a 20.
shame.
So of course when the movie came, when the
It's a
movie came out, I
shame.
remember all those specials with Bob and all the stuff, getting all those accolades and getting all that credit.
There's only one problem about that, though. It's a shame that the first big product that Bill Finger got his name on was a piece of shit like BVS
Yeah, yeah.
in 2016. Bull versus Shite. I mean,
Martha.
but yeah, Batman versus Martha. I mean, I'm sorry. It's a shame it had to be on that garbage Hack Snyder movie, but what are you going to do?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he said he privately admitted
Agreed, Matthew.
in an
Good.
80s interview that with a biographer that or Kane admitted, that Finger was responsible to 50 to 75% of all the creativity in Batman. But for decades, public had denied Finger had anything more than a subcontractor executing his ideas, right?
Yeah, but it's true. Kane admitted it.
Yeah, so it's not even something you can't even dispute it.
It's not
He
in
just covered
dispute.
it up.
But
Yeah.
see, that's the thing. No one disputes it. Well, Stan has at least in some instances admitted that to a lot of people who are maybe they're his apologists, but have said that Stan has come out and said that he probably should have spoken out more. And in other words, he still contends. But then again, no one tries to steal credit from Stan. He steals credit from them. Everyone says, give Stan credit. Let it be co-creator. Let it be this. Even though I wasn't there, but even though by a lot of my study tells me, I believe that if I had to place my bet, and I couldn't prove it, but it's something that I think Jack did most of the heavy lifting, but they still did a lot. They're co-creators. Bob Kane, it did, so there's some gray area with Stan and Steve Ditko and Stan and Jack. And certainly Stan had a lot to do with the success. Bob Kane, I mean, let's face it, he may have come up with a few ideas and a name and some art, but it was totally almost 90 some odd percent of it or more was done by Bill Finger and then other artists. And then Kane really rarely even drew the comic that long. I mean, he drew comics for a while. So, Lee at least did some things. And Lee was, without Stan Lee, those characters would not have been sold. He did a hell of a lot of work to sell it all. You can't take Stan Lee out of the equation. You can almost take Bob Kane out of the equation.
And Bob Kane, I didn't even think was that good of an artist,
No.
When you look at his art, it doesn't do much for me.
Kalel says, when I went to Florida SuperCon a few years ago, 2016, he actually says he misremembered, said it was 2015. There were family members of Bill Finger. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they used to go to cons. They told me the whole story about Bob Kane created Batman and never properly accredited Bill Finger. Yeah, and that documentary is heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
Oh, he said it was Wizard World. Okay, no, that's cool. Appreciate you, Chloe. That documentary is really sad.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, excellent.
No, because then the guy ended up being, he needed the money too. I don't know if he ended up being destitute or
God, yeah.
Right? Wasn't he barely eking by?
Yeah.
So, and I guess did the family end up getting some money too? I'm hoping they did, right?
Well, yeah. And again, if you saw that documentary, it was not.
I'm trying to remember now. Yeah.
He was like a detective himself, finding them.
Oh yeah, he tracked everyone down. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing stuff. Let's see.
And he was actually he was so poor he was buried in an unmarked Potter's Field grave, and then it was finally claimed by his son Fred. Wow. God.
Yeah, I think the saddest part of that thing is when but Bill Finger got to co-write an episode. It was the Clock King episode with Victor Slesak or whatever. Of the Adam West series.
Yep.
And he lived in this nothing little apartment in New York, but they were offered a chance. I remember, first of all, he asked his partner he wrote the episode with, he asked if he could have his name on the top, just, top billing over his just this once. And the guy said, sure. And then they were allowed to go to ABC offices in New York to watch the episode, and he
Yep.
said he was just finally something he had done had been appreciated. And that friend of his is the one who tells the story about how he went looking for him not too long after that or whatever, if I'm remembering right. And they found him dead, and they didn't know about any other family. I mean, it's a tragic life. I remember there aren't a lot of pictures of Bill Finger. See this picture right here of him? You know how I mean, now someone I didn't make that doubling up with the Batman there, but I have that picture on back in the 90s. They did a set of trading cards. I think Kitchen Sink did it of comic book creator creating trading cards. Just pictures of them, just like they would do sports figures or whatever, but all the different great comic book greats, which I still have the whole set of those. I think I got one of mine signed. Of course, I got the Kirby. I got, I think I wanted to get Kirby to sign one, didn't get him, but hey, Decepticon, good to see you. Great to see you, man. But that's what this picture of Bill Finger is from. And there aren't a lot of pictures of Bill Finger. So
yeah, that's on his Wikipedia page too. Yep. So you're right. That's not a great picture either. So I mean, it's not a bad, others, but just the quality. It's
But there aren't a lot of them because people didn't have the means much back then. So
yeah, or if he was, he'd lived alone, everything gets thrown out too, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, what can you do? So anyway,
he got his credit now finally, thankfully. So, the person that did that documentary really, thankfully, maybe is Mark Tyler Nobleman.
Okay.
Did all the history, and he spells his name the right way with a C. Just kidding.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
So his efforts, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Everyone, you've all been fantastic here tonight. That's great. I'm so glad you all hung out with us. Just listen to me go on about nothing, comics. And, well, it's not nothing because I love comics.
Nah, it's not nothing, yeah. We love the nothing, yeah.
Yeah, we love the nothing. I love comics. Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk. Could always find something to talk about when it comes to comics. And I got to find another video to make. This idea hit me when I was scouring sources. See, and it's a terrible video. My voice was horrible, and I need to write a script.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
No, it's fine. I don't mind saying it's terrible. It is. But the point is, I've got to figure out. I want to do weird. I like to do weird videos like this because everyone else does all these polished and really nice videos. I just want to talk about something for a while in a video, and I got to learn how to make them shorter. But I should follow a script because my voice was just really annoying me, and it was the way it was messed up. I was just distracted the whole time from that. So
it's a lot of work to do a script. I God bless those YouTubers that do those fancy videos and put like the Critical Drinker, or I'm just throwing any names out there they're obviously prepared. Nothing wrong with being prepared, but they do some amazing stuff. And just imagine the hours, because it's like doing a movie, right? Because you got to write everything down you're going to say and practice it. And then when you try to read something, I was doing for my day job. We were doing demonstrating products, and then I know the products inside and out, my whole life. Then they're trying to film me doing the video. This was years ago, and I kept flubbing the words and just screwing up. I'm like, but it looks so easy on TV. He's like, yeah, that's why it's my brother-in-law. It's like, yeah, that's why they're paid professionals. Don't quit your day job. So it's it's not easy to do, even just to read that teleprompter. I mean, I guess you get good after a while, but
I can follow a script anyway. That's basically my whole point of that was, I could write it on a script and I would never follow it. It would be worse for me trying to read from a script. I better just speak, speak off the cuff and screw up the way I do and yammer and sound like shit than sound like I'm just reading off of a damn script. It just doesn't work for me. As you can see when I read the chats on Saturday Night Star Trek, because sometimes I can get just for example, you got good buddy Decepticon. Right, watch how badly I read this one. Comic fans kept Bill's name and story alive all these years, and now He has a credit in Batman media. Least everyone could all do. Sad story. See, I messed that one up. Sorry, Sean. But, you know, there's a thing, and that's true, Sean. I've been hearing about, Bill Finger since the 70s, just because I was reading about different things. But people would mention him, and you had to see Bob Kane all over the place.
Yep.
And it was annoying. Every
Yeah,
time I
all
would
those
see.
specials. Yeah, especially with the movie, all the specials. And my mom always clips, comic book stories from her. She's like a big time scrapbooker. So clipped all these articles on Bob Kane and comics and Batman and the movie. And yeah, it's just yeah. As Sean is saying, yeah, saying he's the sole creator. That's what's sick. We pick on Stan, but he's always, even with Spider-Man, he said, he's like, I'm co-creator. He was,
There were times when Stan flat out said he did the creating.
Yeah, but later on, at least you're 100% right. Yeah, at least then he corrected himself. You would never say that years later. And I think when you get older too, you'd hope you'd get, a little bit more remorseful. But I guess Kane had that done that for so long that he couldn't come clean. He came clean privately, but not publicly. So, but
yeah. Yeah, they did. I mean, I don't know. It is a slightly different situation, but not by much. With Bob Kane, I remember being 14 or so and seeing Bob Kane on Oprah promoting Batman and Robin, proclaiming to be the sole creator. Even back then, it was pretty terrible. Well, thank you for that, Kalel. You're too kind, buddy. Everyone's their own worst critic. Well, I'm my 10 billion times worst critic. So. But see, Batman can be so much. That's the whole point of everything in today's video. I like the versatile Batman. By the way, did you see this episode of Batman Brave and the Bold? It was fantastic. I love it. All those different versions.
The Hulk Batman.
The Hulk Batman. That was a Batman does not eat nachos. The Super Batman and Planet X. The Vampire Batman was on there somewhere, wasn't he? He was on there. Yeah, there he is, right there. The Vampire Batman. Yeah.
That makes sense for Batman to be a vampire. Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder, one of my old Brave and Bold comics. Yeah, I think it was Brave and Bold. It got turned into like a man bat or something. Yeah, at one point. Yeah, he had like a few hours to find a cure or do something. Yeah, it was like freaking me out as a kid. As a kid, you're reading it.
Yeah. Then there's the El Batmano, whatever, all these. There's the Plastic Man Batman. Yeah. And then Batman could team up with Scooby-Doo. Even this was good, by the way. This was actually good. This movie they did after the series ended.
That's cute, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because didn't they have in the 70s? Didn't they have Scooby-Doo team up with?
Oh yeah.
All the time with they were fun, yeah.
Well, the first time I ever saw Scooby-Doo as a kid, I don't know, it was late 60s, early 70s, whatever it was. If it was a rerun, was that when Batman teamed up with him? Remember, it was a Scooby-Doo when where he would team up with. He was a team up when it would team up with Batman, and they had Don Knotts on them. So they had Phyllis Diller. They had. They had the Three Stooges or whatever, something like that, I think, or what, if I remember right. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So
also all good stuff, yeah.
Yep. So, but anyway, that was a good one there. Well, everyone, I'll tell you what. Show notes. Wednesday night, I will probably be doing. Oh, I'm sorry. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night. I don't. Oh, I should have loaded. Did I load it? I didn't load a picture. Damn it. Oh, well, I'll have to put it up later. Tuesday night, tomorrow, I will be on Loki's channel. And we will be. Let me find that picture. Crap. I forgot all about it. I know where to get it. Well, there we go. At least I can show it this way. Oh, better than nothing. Tuesday night, folks. On Loki's channel, we have been at least once a month. We have been reviewing a DC animated film, and so this Tuesday night we will review. Let me put it this way: a Superman Batman oriented DC animated film. That's what we've been doing. We did. First we did Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. Then we did. We did World's Finest from the animated series. Now it's Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Agreed. I love those Decepticon. Absolutely. So, did you see this? Have you seen this, by the way?
Let's see if I've seen that movie yet. You know, my memory is just so bad. How old was that movie?
Oh, late aughts, maybe.
Late aughts. Yeah.
Late.
You know, I had to have seen it. I had to have seen it if it's that old. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it is. So yeah,
my memory is such garbage these days. God.
my bad memory is rubbing off on you, dude.
God, I mean, how could I have not? Well, I had to have seen that.
We'll put it to you like
2009,
this.
Yep.
Okay. Put it to you like this.
Lex Luthor's Okay, yeah. Okay, now I'm reading the synopsis. Yeah.
Even I like it.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Even I like it. What does that tell you? Man, that's weird. You know? Because I hate. Yeah, I mean, they got stuff in there I don't like. They got some contamination, but it's before Screw 52. And I didn't really like the comic. Didn't even interest me that much. But Matthew, I'm not the biggest fan of Ed McGuinness, but it looks okay with this animation. And again, I think this was fairly entertaining. And I'm going to go watch it again. You know, I've seen it a few times, and I thought it was pretty damn entertaining. Again, look, they actually look like Superman and Batman. They actually act like Superman and Batman. They actually, the other characters in it look like the way they're supposed to, because this was before the pieces of crap who run DC Animation started adapting Screw 52 trash.
Did Power Girl have a decent figure in this one?
Oh, yeah.
So that's your answer, right?
Yes. I friggin', as soon as they adapted Flush Point Paradix filth crap and then started with their Screw 52 trash. And by the way, Phantom, dude, you know I love you, brother. When you told me to watch, don't freak out on me, but you said to watch Justice League Dark. I got about 2 minutes in and I saw how it's Screw 52, how bad Wonder Woman looks, how stupid Batman looks, and then what took the cake is it has that unbelievably shitty Superman look. I was gone. Boom! I can't watch it. I trust you.
Watch it.
I liked it. I will. It is. My eyeballs bleed out when I look at that shitty, goddamn shitty ass costumes of Superman and Wonder Woman and Flash and all of those. I know it's got characters I like in it. I know when it eventually gets to the quote unquote the Justice League Dark characters, but screw that crap. I don't mind that it was even dark so much, but it was Screw 52. The scene at the beginning when we see quote unquote Superman show up with that unbelievably moronic costume, I was projectile vomiting onto the screen.
Your eyeballs were shooting red lasers out.
My eyeballs were vomiting, and they're not even supposed to be able to vomit. Okay, I'm being a little exaggerated here, but you know. But still, Phantom Outsider. I'm only doing that so I could pick on Phantom Outsider. I really did hate it, and I did turn it off, but I wanted to bust his balls a little bit there.
Well, the DC movies started so strong too. I mean, that first run of Marvel movies were Marvel had a few good movies, but the most part they were just kiddie fest that weren't well done. But at least DC really did a nice job adapting some of their stories. I mean, I think probably my favorite Marvel movie was the one where they had all the because I was buying all the movies for my kids. Was Avengers Next or Next Avengers with all the kids. The Earth had been overrun, and I don't know if you've ever seen that one, but
take a guess.
Yes, and you hated it.
No.
Well,
I wouldn't watch that.
It was actually pretty damn good. So the storyline was really well done.
You talking about that Young Avengers crap?
No. It was called like Next Avengers. It was an alternate.
No.
And it was called like an alternate future, and it was kids and Iron Man's in it, and Next Avengers Heroes of Tomorrow.
I'm gonna be. Yeah. I got to be honest with you. And by the way, Phantom, even though I really did turn it off and hate it, I'm just messing with you, brother. You know I love you no matter what. But I got to tell you, when it comes to comic book characters, they have got. If the first time I set eyeballs on them makes me sick and I don't like the way they look, it's a dead. I mean, I can't. I'm not talking about bad art, by the way. Shitty art I can deal with sometimes. If they have unbelievably stupid costumes and it don't look like the characters are supposed to, or if they just look like a bunch of annoying kids or something, I got to admit I have a prejudice. I'm gone.
Yeah, there's certain things that just just can't stand, right? Yep, I don't blame you.
Phantom says, actually, I'd rather have the Screw 52 characters because I'd hate them using the actual JLA in the story that dark. I just considered it an alternate universe story, and that's cool. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. But as soon as I saw quote unquote Superman, Wonder Woman looked bad enough. When I saw, and I don't even mind. Look, I don't even mind a filthy dark story. I really don't if it's good. But when I saw it, I just, oh man. But I'm so with you, buddy. I do understand. Decepticon says it's unfortunate WB animation went so hard on the doomed screw. 50 step. Then the Screw 52 died, and WB was like, "But we made 16 movies." Yeah, imagine that. And they had the jackasses adapt, quote unquote, adapt the Judas contract. And what did they do? They don't make it look like the old Wolfman Perez. They make these shitty new Titans with Damien and all these other. It looks, oh God, I don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that crap. If you're going to adapt an old story, make it look like the goddamn old story, okay? Oh, DC animation, you suck.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, Phantom's asking me. Yeah, did I see it? Yeah, I saw JLA Dark. Yep. So yeah, I like you said, you just consider an alternative universe or just different characters or just I love Constantine. So I thought that opening was was pretty dark. Yeah.
I don't mind dark. I can watch it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, first of all, Batman has the stupid chin trap. I'll even put up with that. But the way Superman looked, I went nuts. Now, if it's Constantine and Zatanna and who else? Swamp Thing?
Swamp Thing's in it, yep.
I don't know. I might give it another go, but I have to pass that part up. And it was pretty disturbing.
Yeah.
But I hear you.
No, that's I posted the link to the next Avengers Heroes of Tomorrow. I'll make you watch that someday. It's actually Hulk is in it. Chance. It's actually it's good.
All right, show me what it looks like.
It's good.
If it don't pass the look test, I'm out of here.
Well, it's young kids, so so you can click the link. It's in the chat there, Marvel fandom, or just Google next Avenger. Well, here I'll put it in the private here. We can just Google this here. Let me put in the private chat. Yep. That's
I've seen it. I've seen what it looks like.
And let me click on it again. Yep. That's you can Google search that.
Google. And I'll tell you right now whether it could even happen.
And it's going to get the thumbs down. All right, now.
All right, we're going to play a game, everyone. I'm going to look at this and see if it's the thing I'm thinking of, and I want you all to guess. Will I TD it? Will it be a no-go? Will it be a yes-go? Will I approve this?
And these are kids of the original heroes. Yep.
I hate kid heroes. I have enough Wesley crap going on.
Enough Wesley crap going
on. Oh God, no! Oh hell no!
But those are just the kids.
But they're kids, right?
Yeah, but the Earth has been wiped out, and they gotta
all right,
take over for their parents.
We'll let everyone look at it. What do you call a bunch of kids all dressed up as Batman? We don't know. Sherry for the win.
Good one, Sherry.
I love you, Sherry. Well, okay, everyone. Look at this. Tell me
I'm opening myself up for criticism here. Yep.
They've probably seen it. All right. Tell me, everyone. Oh my God, is that Maestro in the background?
Yep. Well, it's the Hulk. It's the Hulk. It's Hulk's a bad guy in
good
this.
Lord. You like this?
Well, Iron Man looks good. You got to watch the story. It's a good story. It's well done. It's everyone's got to. They
on
lose a few
Netflix?
times. I don't know if it's on what it's on now. I bought it. I used to buy all these. For the kids. So my kids are probably
Yuck.
5, 6, 7 when this came out.
Luke
So.
Skywalker was a young adult. I love Luke. He did not look like this. He was not a kid. Darth, buddy, I jump in front of a bullet for you, or even a lightsaber, but that one don't work, bro.
All right. Well, you got to watch the movie, and then I mean the artwork is Iron Man looks like Iron Man in it.
All right,
when he comes back, so you got to watch it, and
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Watch 5 minutes of it.
No, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Everyone who wants me to watch this, put the letter N for next. Everyone who doesn't want me to watch this, put the letter C for Clobby. We'll let our friends decide. See what they say.
All right, I'm giving this movie has my thumbs up, so I'm telling you it's a good. You like it a lot more than
got one C already
than Captain Marvel.
we got to see.
Can I vote?
Yes, you can vote. N.
These are all the kids, Eric. These are all
Thanks
kids.
A lot, DD.
They're kids.
So, Sherry, I thought you loved me. My goodness, Steve. Well, it's a small C, not a capital
Phantom
C.
saying it has a decent story.
Matthew, dude. Oh my goodness. Look at all the C's from Hungry Boy, dude. I thought we were tight, Hungry Boy. Wow, I see how you are. I'm just kidding. Oh, that's right. The C is for me. I take it back. I love you.
Take it back.
I forgot already who was for me. Right? Thank you. I'm winning this one after all. I thought it was losing for a minute because I'm so
no tampering with the vote.
Sean, dude, come on, man. After all we've been through, Darth,
they want to hear you.
Dude. Thank you, Sherry. By the way, I love you. I misunderstood. I thought you put it in. Thank you, Sherry. In. Well, David, come on, man.
I'm telling you, it's a great movie. I'm telling you, it's good stuff.
Oh man! Well, look at all those C's I got, especially from Hungry Boy.
All right, if you watch this, you tell me it's a scale, a turtle scale. How many times better than Eternals it is? Of course, that's not a tough bridge to cross, but it really has a nice ending and a good.
Thank you, Cal.
Good story. Yep.
Thank you, David. No, David, you put in. That means I have to watch it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Looks
6,
like I win.
7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, 6. Oh wait, no. I think you have to watch it.
I did. I mixed up yours with someone else's, Sherry, when it went by so fast. I'm sorry. I love you.
Well, no hanging chads here in the chat.
Yeah.
I think you have to watch it.
I missed up like a couple of them. It went so fast on me, I saw the wrong thing because my eyesight sucks, as you all know. So let's see here.
Well, I think the ends have it.
You don't see Luke as a naive and child. No, he's just 19. At least a young adult. I don't see him as a little 10-year-old. No. Yes, he is naive, and it's for childish. I'm 10 times older than Luke. I'm still childish, so that doesn't matter. But let's see here.
And it's Ultron. It's Ultron is in this one too. So it's a good storyline, as Phantom saying.
See, I don't have to watch it, and I have to watch it. So
Cam is there. Yep. Sorry, hello everyone. I was confused by the N and C. Yep. Next time it should be no and yes, right?
I'm a backtrack and I'm start from the beginning here. All right, let's see. You want to count them?
Yeah.
Recount time.
I'll count
folks.
the C's. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 C's, 4, 5. I'm seeing 5 C's. Is that right?
All right. I'm starting. Let's see. C.
I'm starting to.
Troy gives me a C. Cal says C. Hungry Boy says C. That's a lot of C's there.
You only can't count one. You can only vote. You can't vote early and often. There's no
Okay. So that's 1,
Counts
2,
one.
3. And then some Clobberin times gives me a C, so that's 4. He's on my side.
I see 6 C's.
6. Let's see, 6. That's right. I thought I saw more C's in here.
D. Olberg voted. Let's see. Did he vote once or twice? So that would be 7 C's. Yep. The 7 C's.
7, a 7.
2,
Yep.
3.
Oh, thank you, Netter. See, you find out who your friends are when you put a vote. Eric Hayes gives me
6.
3 C's. That gets me to 8, right? See,
don't you want to hear Clobby rant? 7 C, the 7 C's. Yep.
Wait a minute.
So we got. Let's see the ends.
The Clifford Big
1,
Red Dog movie.
2,
And
3,
did I make
4,
you suffer
5.
that movie, Darth? Now it's an N. Oh, 6 in. Oh, 6 in. Now let's see. Big N.
Oh no, 7 to 5. Oh no.
Because Cam, hello there, buddy. Good to see you. Be honest,
7,
I've lost count.
8.
Cam's
No. 5, 6, 7.
16 to 9. Thank you, Netters. Oh, thanks for counting that. I appreciate that. I couldn't even keep track. I kept getting everyone's vote confused and seeing the wrong thing because the thing was moving on me.
Oh, this has been fun. Yep.
So it looks like I'm off the hook.
Yeah, but I think you should watch it anyway. You'll like it. You can watch it and don't tell anyone if you like it.
I don't have access. I don't have access to it.
I can provide access.
I don't know if I believe you.
I'll send you the DVD.
Why would I want to watch this?
I'm telling you, it's a good story. I'm telling you, it's well done. you can blame me for.
I already hate these kids. I hate the animation. I hate the art.
The animation's not that bad. Yeah,
I mean the art.
You blame me for wasting 78 minutes. Just think of all the pain and suffering of Eternals, and this is just so far better. So much better.
God, look how terrible that looks. You don't think that looks terrible?
No, I mean, I don't think it's
okay.
terrible.
Let me ask: have any of you seen this? I wonder if anyone who gave me an N actually saw it. The story was good, says Fan. Okay, what if I see it and like it, which is almost impossible? All right, I'll tell you all the story now. Have any of you ever seen Spectacular Spider-Man? Have you?
Oh, you're which movie? Spectacular Spider-Man or
the cartoon?
That was an which one? When was that one out? That was
sure you've seen that. Okay,
that was the. Oh yeah. No, that's great. That was the one that got canceled right after a couple seasons, or
yes. Just to show you all, I'm not quite the monster that I wish I could portray myself as. Every time I would see the animation from that, I'd be like, it looks too anime-y. It looks too, again, the song, I didn't really like it as much. I was really upset that they used that kind of animation. Well, my son kept annoying me. Gotta watch it. Everybody would say, you gotta watch it. It's only 26 episodes. And at Walmart, you started seeing that they had these DVDs of them for like $5 a piece. So I watched them. Oh, there you go. No, not the computer generated one, Phantom Outsider. It's called Spectacular Spider-Man. I think it was on Fox.
The MTV one was the one with Neil Patrick Harris, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I finally watched Spectacular Spider-Man, and I still can't get it into. Thank you, Netter. I appreciate you. I really can't get into the art. I still don't like that art style. The song, I guess, kind of let it grow on me. It was weird. It was good. And the show was good. I liked it. Yeah, 2008. That's right. Sherry knows about it. It's a good show. I like it. I liked it. No, not my definitive Spidey either, but I thought it was pretty fun and it should have lasted. But if the art's similar to this, now Spider-Man Unlimited is a piece of trash. And I did watch that. Okay. Avengers Assemble's a piece of trash. And I did watch that enough. So you didn't watch Spectacular Spider-Man?
No, I've seen that. No, just there's been so many Spider-Man cartoons. My brain was searching for which one it was. Yeah, but
not Spider-Man Unlimited. I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man. Sorry, Unlimited was weird but different.
Ultimate
Ultimate Spider-Man was a piece of crap. I mean, they call it the cartoon and the comic, but yeah. So yeah.
And then what was the Spider-Man 2090? Was it Spider-Man 2099? Was that called 2099, or when he went to the future? Which one was that when Spider-Man
went? Did a comic on that?
No,
I made a cartoon on that. I don't know.
Yeah. Was it Spider-Man 2099 or was it what the heck was that one called? That was pretty good, I thought. Was it 2099? I didn't know
they did one. Now they did one called Spider-Man Unlimited.
They sent Peter Parker to the future, and but so it wasn't the same, character.
I don't know. They did an animated of that. I know they did one called Unlimited. They did one called Spider-Man Unlimited, where he went to Counter Earth.
All right, that's the one I'm mixing up. Yeah, they had that was the one who went to. It wasn't the future; it was a Counter Earth, right? It was a crazy.
Went to Counter Earth, right? Had some weird costume.
Yeah, but it was kind of like almost like a 2099 influence on the costume.
Yeah, but it was different, and it was Peter Parker.
Yeah,
but I don't think they did a 2099 cartoon that I know of. Maybe they did. But
okay, that was just bad memory. Yep.
Let me just pull it up. I'll show you. I'll pull it up. So.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. Yep.
Spider-Man Unlimited.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If I had access to this,
because he had those webs and he had, he found that, found the costume. Yeah, so 13 episodes. Yep.
Oh yeah.
That was a strange one. Yeah.
Yeah, Will Munoz worked on that thing. Cartoon, yeah, that was it. They had that stupid red costume.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of thinking, with the red and the black, and yeah.
I don't know. It didn't. Do you think that's I don't know, Sean. Do you think that's that's not really too much like the 2099 suit? I guess it's similar. I don't know.
It's got elements. That's what I was thinking.
It took place on Counter Earth, though.
Yeah, Troy's right. Yeah, like a Spider-Man Beyond. Yep.
Yeah. Didn't last long, did it?
Yeah, 13 episodes. Yep. But they did have Machine Man on it, which was cool.
Machine Man was on an episode?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, no kidding. I did not know that.
I had to track it down years later, so it was like, because it was really tough to watch. I mean, it was tough to find.
Didn't they have what do we call it? High Evolutionary on there or something?
Yep, High Evolutionary was on there too. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so he's the Machine Men and the Knights of Wundagore capture him. Yep.
I hated
John
Avengers
Jameson of the spaceship. Yeah.
Yeah. Phantom, I hated Avengers Assemble with a passion. It cost me Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which I loved. And that is the reason why we lost Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Because of those dickheads just canceled it unceremoniously because they wanted to change. They wanted a cartoon that looked more like the freaking movies, which pissed me off to no end. What a shame. So yeah,
I love watching that one with my kids. That first one, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everyone, I want to thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Really do appreciate you. Again, tomorrow night, I was doing show notes telling about what we're doing tomorrow night, and boom, I just went off on a tangent. Sorry, everyone, but I love hanging out with you, and I do appreciate you. So My friends, the lovely Sherry, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Beautiful Sherry, the lovely Netters Network, and then a bunch of guys. We don't even want to say, we don't care about the guys. We kid, we love the guys. We love you guys. The great Eric K, buddy. Appreciate you. Chris Persia, I think I don't know, I think I had to run, but thank you, great Chris Persia. Phantom Outsider, buddy. Decepticon, thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Troy, buddy, Troy Pacelli. Good to see you, sir. Let's see here. Cam, good to see you. Hungry Boy, my friend. Good to see you. Matthew Pounder, my friend. Thank you. Kalel, buddy. Darth Aster, buddy. Good to see you. D. Oberg, my friend. It's always great to see you, man. I really appreciate you hanging by. Stopping by to hang with us here, I should say. David Serta, thank you. Let's see. I think I didn't go back too far. I think I got most people who were here. If I missed anyone, I'm sorry. I think this chat's all screwed up, but I thank you all for hanging out with us. It was just so much fun. And of course, big thanks to the greatest chief engineer in the fleet that I had to fire for trying to make me watch crap.
It's not crap.
I'm just kidding.
I know. Well, that's why we can laugh. We can laugh about this fun stuff. Yep.
Big shout out to the great Stone Loki for this wonderful outro, and for having me on the show tomorrow night to review Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. I'll be on Wednesday night, of course, back here doing, I don't know what, maybe nothing. I don't know. It'll be something, though, probably. And then it'll be, got Spinnerack videos coming out, two shows Thursday, Global Geek Gang, and then the Clobby's Clubhouse, and then Saturday night, Star Trek on when else? Saturday night. Oh. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your night, morning, day, week, whatever it is. Go for it.